Oh, I forgot to change my lighting again. Oops. Hello? Hello? Okay. View. Hello, yes, Goda! Yay, Goda! That is...
I never get sleep on the weekend.
Why did my Discord start to refresh? Oh my god.
Damn.
Why? What happened? Out of nowhere, my Discord refreshed. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, gonna put it back on. Gonna fucking go to reactive. This is going well, guys. Waited 30 minutes for this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, now why aren't you guys working? Oh, my God. Alright. Did we hit a little refresh? No?
Damn. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The voice turned into loading screens. Isn't that great? Okay, they're back.
Oh, there
I
we go.
literally did nothing. Okay, well, yay, UMINEKO! Yay! Wow!
Yeah.
Yay! So much fun! Yippee! Okay, well, last time we were here, we found out there was another Beatrice on the island when Rosa was young, and she kind of killed her a little bit.
No, she didn't. She didn't listen to instructions. That was her fault.
No, yeah, she's like straight up idiot. Fell off a cliff, and Rosa was like, "I did it. It's my fault." Because everything's about Rosa.
That's
Yeah,
so real.
Rosa has to take on every bit of guilt except for the guilt she has for beating her child. Beating her child for being a child, by the way. Or just like normal child shit.
Yeah. Love Rosa.
These bish.
These freaking beesh. Honestly, I blame myself for the death of Beatrice too.
I think you need to learn about cause and effect and individuality and consequences related to one's own actions.
I would have gotten home and been like, that bitch killed herself.
Yeah, I think it's definitely her fault that she died. Definitely just fell like a big dumb idiot, like I said.
Big dummy.
I'm not convinced Beatrice is actually very smart.
Song title Rain Ambiance. That's crazy.
I don't think
That's
Nice.
rain
song
noises.
title The Wind Outside My Window.
Real.
Are we ready to go, Bree, or are you still doing stuff?
Yeah, no, it's just that your reactive images aren't popping up. Like, they're there, but they're not working, so I just don't... I'm just gonna say whatever.
Huh.
I'm just gonna say whatever and just leave it. Perhaps it'll come back.
Alright, is this narrator?
Yeah.
Forget where we were. Okay. Yoda was doing the nighttime rounds. Rokonjima had always been empty except for the Ashiramiya family household. So checking that the doors and windows were all closed had no real purpose. However, since the time Natsuhi had condemned such an attitude as being careless, the nighttime routines had become part of the servants' daily routine. In the first place, Natsuhi had ordered this because of the occasional witch disturbances. Everyone who came and left this island knew about the legend of Beatrice, the witch of the forest. It had become established as this island's characteristic ghost story.
Oh,
Because of that, it was only natural some people would claim that when they thought they were alone in the mansion, they would hear a strange sound or see the shadow of a person. However, when that created a little too much of a disturbance and reached Natsuhi's ears, she made a fuss, thinking that some suspicious person might have been entering and leaving. Apparently, she had roused all of the servants and had them check throughout the mansion. Because all of that panic over the witch had happened before Goda's arrival, he had only heard about it from the more senior servants. Ghost stories like that could be found in any workplace. Even at the hotels and restaurants Goda had worked at, there had been plenty of them. So when he heard about the story on this island, he had given a forced smile, thinking, they have that kind of thing here after all. That forced smile aside, he had figured that when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and had taken it seriously.
I can never look at that phrase the same again. It's been tainted in my mind.
Yeah. Goda went along with it on the outside, but in his heart he had assumed it to be a childish trick. At first, that is. It certainly is eerie. Yeah, I can see why it was so easy for past servants to get into a panic. Could understand how someone doing the rounds on an eerie night like this might have believed they'd seen a ghost if they saw Lance curtain waving in the breeze from a window that hadn't been closed. Lace curtain, well. So if you make fun of the witch of the portrait, there's a curse. Seems there was even a servant who received serious injury and quit. Well, I wouldn't want that. Think of my age. Probably wouldn't be granted a workplace this hospitable again. Witch of the portrait. I'm working sincerely, so please give me some peace.
Just a working man.
UMINEKO's sequel. UMINEKO midquel about Goda working in like a retirement home or something.
UMINEKO 1.5.
Yeah. UMINEKO 0.5 is just Goda being like, yeah, yes, chef.
UMINEKO when the seniors cry.
God.
Goda prayed to the portrait, his hands together.
Goda, what are you doing?
I'm
in
having
there?
It's crazy, you like mix the voices. That's why.
My brain. Goda prayed to the portrait, his hands together, as though he was at a Shinto shrine.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Wasn't that a glass sound effect?
I don't know. Oh.
at that time, he thought he heard a sound.
Oh no, he's
Kitchen?
gonna meet Beatrice.
Was that the sound of something metal falling on the floor? Maybe a mouse or a cockroach had come out and knocked over some of the dishes. Yes, because that is physically possible. No. How could that be? It was usually cleaned thoroughly. Thinking he'd check out what the noise really had been, Goda entered the kitchen.
UMINEKO spinoff where Goda's working at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. He's in Hell's Kitchen.
He turned on the kitchen light. When he did, he heard a strange sound.
Oh. Clink, 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 clink,
Clankety clank, clank, clank. To a cook like Goda, the sound felt like a lid on a pressure cooker or something shaking. Surely, there wouldn't be such a pot on the burner with no one in the kitchen. Even if someone was using the gas, walking away from it would be quite dangerous. Just in case, Goda decided to inspect the area around the gas range. The first jump scare of the show.
Oh my god.
It's like a FNAF 2 Foxy jump scare Beatrice.
What is this? When he did, in the corner, with the gas range, the pressure cooker really had been set out just as he'd thought. But the flame wasn't on. And yet the lid was clanking.
Oh, I did forget your gift. I'm sorry, Jamie. I did forget it. Jamie entered a gift to be put on stream. Hello.
Yeah, there's a
Was
side
something...
note? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, good. That was good.
Oh no, mine is completely unrelated to everything, so you can go ahead and keep reading. I just thought we were gonna have downtime for a second.
Oh. Was something fermenting and leaking gas? I guess we are.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know.
dude.
Are we, do you have is? Oh, it's
Uh,
covering Gutta's head.
No,
Oh, you're right.
that's the wrong give. It's not letting me use it. There it is. There she is in the corner.
Oh, the one we're just rapidly spinning.
Oh yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
How could that be? There was a mouse.
Oh.
Then there was a mouse or something inside.
Fuck. I forgot that was where the chat is. No. Okay, there you go. There you go.
Excuse me. How could that be? Ridiculous. When people were watching, Gerda acted as though he had a bold personality fitting for his build, but he actually had an unexpectedly timid side to him. He was frightened that there might be something inside, and he couldn't bring himself to check it carelessly. In his cowardice, he grabbed a nearby wooden pestle, and with a clunk, he tapped it a little forcefully against the side of the pressure cooker. When he did, the clanking sound suddenly stopped. He should have been relieved that it had stopped. But in fact, that it had stopped when he'd hit it was even more eerie, and made him even more suspicious about what was inside.
Someone should tell Battler to stop barking. It's the middle of the night. People are trying to sleep.
Mork.
Gulp.
Mysterious phenomena do not exist in this world. Yes, witches and magic and things like that couldn't possibly exist. All phenomena can be explained with science. As if monsters and witches could exist. He repeated that many times, trying to build up his own confidence. The gap between what he was saying and what he was doing was quite comical. Who could believe in a witch? Who could believe in magic or curses? Come on. Show me what you really are. Take that!
Oh.
He removed the lid of the pressure cooker. And lying exposed there was the sparkling clean silver bottom of the pot. There was absolutely nothing frightening like he'd imagined.
Someone stole the roast beast.
It's only natural. There's no way there could have been anything inside. By now, Gerda had realized that he had been a coward. So while he still had some doubts as to what caused the lid to make that sound, he figured it wasn't a big problem and decided not to worry about it too much. Then he took the lid he grabbed and softly set it back down where it had been. Fine, it won't make a sound. Of course it won't. Oh wait, no. Now it's... I hate that. I hate that so much.
Same.
Of course it won't. As if witches or magic could exist. Oh shit, clink clink. Now it's more spoopy.
Mama, a witch behind you. Clank, 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 clank.
Me when I find Metis Persona 3.
All of the pots and dishes in the kitchen started clanking at once.
Me when I find Menace Persona. I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah.
Robot, that's a robot.
Yeah.
It grew even stronger so that finally the lid to one of the pots fell off. And from inside the pot, a slender white arm reached out. Lids fell off the other pots and another, and another, and another.
Oh god.
As if witches could exist, as if I'd believe it! When the number of arms grew to 7, a loud shrill laughter split
Oh my
the
god.
air.
Are they all the stakes? Oh, that's kind of crazy. Oh damn.
I think it is.
Damn.
Bro was cooking the steaks.
Bro was cooking
Get
the
it?
steaks.
Get it?
Hey,
Damn.
in the pots. Shane, that's what's you.
Oh, this one's me.
Yeah, that
That's
one's
what happened every time, every week, forever.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Dude, oh, you think I remember? You're cute.
I remember.
Thank you.
I'm the only one that remembers.
What a letdown. Too bad that someone who can make such delicious food is such a lightweight.
And that's you. Lenny.
Who's you? Okay, sorry, I was
Yes.
trolling.
If you don't want him, I'll take him. He's all mine.
Wait, I said no! I'll take him!
Huh?
And it was at this moment Rhoda realized
oh,
he
oh.
was afraid of bitches.
Uh-oh. Gotta watch out! A snake's behind you.
No. Looks like he's gonna be
God.
well done.
What?
Get it? 'Cause, like,
What about
steak
the guest
with,
house?
You know.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oh, there-
it's
it's
still
the
there.
snakes
This is all
talking.
this is all them talking, but
Okay.
we don't fucking know who it is, so this is just
Search
dumb.
finder! Don't get noticed by the kids in the guest house, right? Search in silence, kill in silence. After all, it's just the first twilight. It's Lola.
I forget who did they already get? They already got all the
They got all the
the
servants.
OGs, right?
They got Goder.
They didn't get all of them. They only got go to Canon Shannon, right?
I think they're looking for Kumasawa right now.
Yeah, they're trying to get them all.
She's in the guest house, but she wasn't in the mansion either, right? Uh-oh. Hey,
Also,
I found her, I found her.
Don't think I can't notice that right after they were talking about how, like, you know, the servants were the prime suspects. Now they're the first ones to die.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's in the rose garden. Why is she standing around there without an umbrella? She's already given up. Oh mine, oh mine, oh mine. You blockheads can't just sit there and watch.
Blockheads.
I told you no, she's
What is
one
Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
mine. Come on, if you take any longer, we'll be scolded by Beatrice-sama. Let's take care of it all at once.
Clam it, chowderheads.
There, found her, surrounded her. Come on, let's get along and do it all at once, okay?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yes, finally.
Wait, what?
I've been waiting. I've been waiting to see what she can do. She's about to be crazy. She's about to fuck all of them up. I hope.
huh? What?
Oh, she's. Whoa.
Dude, I told you they've all got abilities.
What is
Whoa.
this?
Open eye Kumasawa, yeah.
What naughty girls. You wouldn't happen to be friends of that child, would you? Just what is this? This old hag? That's
I
you.
believe, yeah.
Yeah, that's you,
No,
Lenny.
wait. No, I don't think that's true. Really?
Yeah, that's
What
you.
voice was I doing?
You were doing kind of like a sexy older sister voice.
I don't know what that sounds like. I'm gonna make up another voice.
Okay.
No, she was like British or something. Hold
Okay.
on.
There's got to be some mistake. One more time.
And then
She
they,
has hollow purple.
Whoa.
dude, oh my god, look, wait, she has white hair.
Oh my god, it's Gojo!
She's from the Gojo clan. Holy shit. Oh wait, this is a banger.
It is a banger. Why can she defend against us?
Move aside. One more time.
Yeah, Tori Corbett!
No matter how often you try it won't work.
Belfa Gormit.
This person is guy, she's fucking using hacks and shit.
I am waiting for that child. Would you mind calling for her? Do you really expect us to run errands for you like that?
Oh no, she's gotta be at like the top of the power scale. She's gotta be the goat or something.
There's no need. Beatrice-sama!
What up, though?
I'm here too.
After all, even I have manifested by now. I was certain that you had awakened.
Renove. It's been a long time. Yes, truly. A long time. You and I had fun together.
Bro, what?
Oh my god.
What?
This person's talking to Renove someone without using Sama?
Renove take her to the bone zone? Is he a hag slayer?
And it's been a long time since I've seen you too, Beatrice.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this because she was a believer from the beginning, and she stated that she had seen her and shit. So I was
Yeah.
waiting to find out how she knows about her.
She's not even using Sama for Beatrice-sama.
She got
Enough.
seniority, bro.
Don't you know who this is? The name Beatrice itself is hers.
No
I only
way.
inherited it from her. This is my teacher, the
When
previous
she didn't
Lady
have a
Beatrice.
Western name.
Dude, that's actually a huge lore drop. That was not something I could have predicted at all,
The
to be honest.
previous Lady Beatrice.
Okay, so the gray-haired one was her.
Yeah!
Oh shit.
I was wondering why she was the only one without a Western name the whole time. Gold butterflies appeared in ones and twos from the garden of roses and began to gather around Kumasawa. Then, after she was unwrapped in a golden sparkle, she burst and disappeared, and Kumasawa's form was no longer there. Ooh.
Yeah, my queen!
Oh.
Holy shit.
Also, I'm glad that what I said before was kind of acknowledged, because I've been talking about how like Beatrice itself is treated as more like a concept than like the actual person, and like even Beatrice herself just said that she's like, nah, Beatrice is just like a title, so like I'm the new one.
I'm the new one now.
Generational.
Instead, there was another golden witch, the one who once taught the path of an endless witch to Beatrice, and the only person Beatrice ever called teacher. Her hair was long, beautiful, and vividly youthful, and her figure in an elegant dress couldn't possibly have been mistaken for an old lady. No, this looked like a completely different person from Kumasawa.
I guess in hindsight it makes sense, because like with the secluded mansion and stuff in the woods, like he would have needed like someone of that level of like power to set that kind of stuff up, with like the magic barrier and shit.
Oh yeah, and from the beginning they said she would just disappear and shirk her duties randomly.
Yeah, right. Like she was kind of weirdly aloof, and now it's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
What do you think up there, spinning Beatrice? Yeah, me too.
Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I wanted to have a little fun.
Undertale dialogue noises. Yeah.
Well, teacher. I never even dreamed that we would meet each other again. Yes, neither did I. I certainly never dreamed that my sleep would be disturbed. Such a troublesome time for you to awaken. If you'd remained asleep as usual, the first twilight could have ended without much trouble. Or perhaps I should be glad you're here. I was just getting a tad bored. As usual, it seems you're toying with sinless people in a vulgar game. I believe I taught you several times that the power of the Endless Witch mustn't be used to cause people trouble. Don't say that, teacher! Isn't boredom our natural enemy? This is just a little spice to escape from that. The more the corrosion advances, the stronger my power becomes, and the easier it becomes to summon my minions. But who would have thought that it would release the seal on you, teacher, at the same time? It's precisely because I predicted such a thing would happen, that I slept so very close to where you were, though I prayed in my sleep that I would not be woken again. Being reunited with you is a very sad thing for me. You're as cunning as always, teacher. Renove, have that young furniture step back. Furniture only serves its master. The master is responsible for all of her crimes.
Oh, that's why he doesn't really fuck with her like that, because he was hers first.
Oh. Certainly, Madam Beatrice.
Yeah, well, given the difference between them, I imagine that like when Renove was working for this Beatrice, he probably like was following a much better code of ethics. So maybe he's actually not that bad of a guy. Yeah.
Who's
I mean,
talking right now?
There's crimes happening.
I've already
It's by
passed that
Beatrice.
name on to this child. Come now, step back, furniture girls. I may give warnings a second time if you do not listen to the first. However, do not expect to receive a third.
She really just said, I'm gonna count to 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the count of 3.
Step back, Seven Sisters of Purgatory. If you get dragged into this, only dust will remain.
Back, everyone.
Renove and the Seven Sisters of Purgatory retreated.
Right.
After that, what remained was the Beatrice whose daring expression didn't falter, and the teacher Beatrice, who had given up that name and wore a composed smile.
We get which fight? Which fight?
Well then, teacher, what tea shall I prepare for our long-awaited reunion?
Let's see. This reunion was longer in coming than the visit of a comet. Perhaps I will accept your hospitality. And if it seems a mistake has been made, I'll have you return my name, the title of the Endless Witch.
So even the title of Endless Witch has a license renewal policy? As you wish, as you wish, teacher. See how splendid your disciple has become, and see how far she surpassed you so long ago.
Oh shit. Oh, sorry. Oh wait, okay, never mind.
The air between the two Beatrices seemed to explode with sparks. Just by glaring at each other, they purged all spirits from that place. As they watched, the Seven Sisters shivered. After all, if they had retreated just 3 steps less than they had, they would already have been turned to dust by now.
So come, Beatrice. Surrendering my name to you is the only regret I have in life. I will now correct that error by my own hands.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. You've got it wrong, teacher. My only error was becoming your disciple in the hopes of gaining such a puny level of power, get it? What are you calling magic? What are you calling the Endless Witch? All you've got is a power that can be gained just by noticing, right? And you act as though that's so great and impressive. Your turn's long over, teacher.
Oh,
Man,
shit.
Trying to look at JPEGs and white flashes.
Oh, yeah. Whoa!
Oh no, impact frame.
Whoa, she's doing a shadow clone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did it clone technique, brother.
The song Fake Red Shoes.
Wow.
You see this shit, Bachelor? You see this shit?
It's this guy.
That's literally him right now.
I'm asleep.
I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. What in the world is happening right in front of my eyes?
Oh, she's just here now. Okay.
You poor thing. It seems my disciple is causing you trouble. I apologize.
Who the heck are you? Why did old Kumasawa turn into a Nate-chan like this? I mean, seriously, who are you? I don't get it. What kind of special effects are these? My head feels like it's gonna explode.
I am the witch teacher of that child. My old name was Beatrice. When that child succeeded me, I gave up that name. So I have no name of my own.
Like you've already said, your disciple's been a real pain to me. Please take responsibility and do something. No, wait! I don't believe in stuff like this. As if witches and magic could exist. I won't accept this messed up battle. Damn it, what should I believe?
That's just like you. Hospitality with a very quick temper.
I'd expect nothing less from you, teacher. It seems this is so trivial to you. You don't even feel like opening your eyes. I doubt you'll be able to win unless you're prepared to wreck this whole island, see? Come arise, show the war towers! What the fuck?
Oh God!
What the hell?
Summons the Twin Towers.
Oh, I've heard about this. The Twin Towers.
In response to Beatrice's summons, a terrific earth tremor split the rose garden. And on either side of her shoulders, 2 massive wall towers sprouted and stabbed into the heavens. What the fuck? They stretched up to 100 what the shit? 100
Yep.
marutes tall, and had reached over each had over 360 ports. They were war towers of the gods' army corps, which had... What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Each groups of ancient heroes from invading their sacred grounds. What the shit? As Beatrice elegantly floated in the gap between the massive 2-headed towers, she looked down on her teacher, sneering with a sense of absolute superiority. With the 2 massive towers lined up behind her shoulders, the witch looked very small, like a butterfly dancing between huge trees.
Don't think you can dodge it by turning into butterflies, okay? The density of the Twin Towers is broad. Wouldn't just make you a pinned bug sample, it'd make you a madly stabbed pincushion, right?
Over 720 ports opened on the towers, and godly soldiers readied their multi-shot ballistas.
Oh,
What?
is that the
The
end
hell?
of your turn?
Famous last words.
Where did this
Blast
become Yu-Gi-Oh?
away!
Oh! Oh my God! Oh! Jesus!
I do not know who this Beatrice is. Yugi shows up. But that card is bullshit.
Pot of greed! Pot of greed!
Sure.
Oh yeah.
The ballista shots that numbered over 1,000 were all fired at once, drawing a beautiful geometric curtain of death. The Borishan was as the bowstrings were played, was probably even deeper than that of a reaper swinging its sickle.
Come, arise, fallen tower. Split the single language and let that sin be known. What the fuck am I talking about? Oh my God!
The sky was stained an incandescent red, and from between the clouds a blazing massive tower fell upside down. The massive falling tower and its rubble sucked into the thousands of ballista shots so that not one of them approached the body of the witch who had summoned it. That's right, no group of people, no matter how large, could approach the mysteries of heaven. That was the reality of the fallen tower.
As I'd expect from you, teacher. If you do something, you always do it big.
My turn isn't over. Come, arise, sons of Vivaldi. Bestow
Yes, more
upon me
characters!
a worthy spear.
More characters. I want more characters. Put more
Smothered-
shit in this story.
What? Oh God! Whoa!
Smothered mate. What the F?
What in the, Helsing shit is happening? Like, as the massive crimson tower that had fallen made a terrible gold-colored explosion, a massive spear appeared from inside of those flames, so tall, like a tower, that you'd had to look up to see all of it.
Yeah, chess is happening.
It was too large even for a giant's hand. That divinely beautiful spear of the gods was so massive, it gave the illusion that the fallen tower had turned into a spear of the same size. It was a spear of certain victory that no one could escape.
Looks like your twin towers won't help you now.
There it is. There's the line.
How foolish to block off your means of escape on both sides. You can't defend against even a single spear. Oh!
When she snapped her fingers, man with a massive tower-sized spear shot at Beatrice like a lightning bolt. It aimed right for the middle of the center of the Golden Witch's heart with extreme precision as she danced in the gap between the towers like a butterfly, slicing straight through the air like a flash of lightning.
Ah! So you use Gongmi at a moment like this? You really are incredible, teacher!
What is happening?
Burst, useless towers! Arise, giant soldier battle line! Fully block that divine spear with your shields and chests!
The shoulder war towers exploded in gold. They became several billion gold butterflies. Those butterflies took the shape of 7 massive armored soldiers. Each stretched a full 50 marute into the sky, and they lined up in front of Beatrice, protecting their master, and holding massive shields that towered like windmills.
I was honestly really excited to see these in CG because I got none of this in the original. It's pretty epic. Yes!
She just summoned like a fuck ton of kaiju soldiers?
Dude.
What the hell?
They were as massive as a mountain range. The witch behind them was a small moon hiding behind the mountains. I might like to imagine there's like a rescue helicopter or something flying over the islands. They're like, alright, there are people stuck in a tsunami out here, what the fuck?
Alright, she couldn't be Goku though, that's all I'm saying. Goku would slam this hoe. Low diff.
Once in the past, when the massive shields these giants held had been readied by the whole regiment, they had protected King Wilhelm's castle not only from arrows, but from the wind and the rain. I'm so suddenly confused.
Yeah, I mean, this game kind of does that to you. You think things are like normal for like a couple of hours, and then they just throw more insane shit at you.
Yeah. Oh my god, like this is more brain destroying than the murder party, pretty much.
Because, I remember, supposedly like a lot of people read Higurashi and they complained about how like you know, the story, the mystery in that game was not a closed circle. And then the writer was like, oh yeah? Watch this.
Watch this, dude.
And then he just put a story with a million fucking characters in it.
Yeah.
But when they had faced the upwards and held their shields to the heavens, not a single raindrop had gotten through.
Foolish. The shame of a witch who has forgotten to respect things sacred. Do you think mere giants could defend against a spear of the gods?
Indeed, no matter how much human metal you are armed with, you cannot block a spear of the gods.
Oh, see, now he's
A
blazing
wonderful epaulette made by Madame.
No way! Beatrice-sama? Of course I haven't forgotten, teacher. Come, arise, disciples of Hephaestus! Bestow upon me a wealthy shield! What gods am I talking? Are they just all there?
She doesn't even know, bro.
We got all the gods! God Royale!
I summon the Christian god.
No, dude,
Make all this go away.
Like, white hair Beatrice is like dropping all this lore and shit, and then fucking golden hair Beatrice is like, bippity boppity boo! I kill you!
A golden whirlwind arose around the feet of the giant soldiers. It was a cloud of countless butterflies. They attached themselves to the massive shields like gold leaf, sparkling like they were dead.
And no mirror!
It was the absolute defense of all given to a goddess by the chief of the gods. The Aegis Shield was happening when the Holy Spear was left behind it like a comet, crashed into the mountain range. Fucking, I can't take it seriously.
This is serious right now!
Yeah, bro, why can't you take the fucking shonen? Why can't you take the shonen witch kaiju battle real?
Yeah, what the
This shit is so serious, bro.
I thought we were reading a mystery novel.
Little did you know. This is part of the mystery, dude. They're weird. These are key clues.
It was the creaking of the pillars that held up the heavens. So extra. The divine spear spun around and around and was sent flying in the direction of the setting sun. It's been night!
Yeah, I read the CG.
What the fuck is going on? You're impossible. She defended against the divine spear. No, that is not correct. The divine spear avoided her.
What?
It is the law of the gods that an absolute spear and an absolute shield must never fight one another.
I missed you on purpose.
Although, in the end, it means that the same thing is defending against it. I love Warhammer 40,000.
Oh yeah.
Your skills have improved from engaging in these fights so often.
Or rather, it seems you're still as bad as ever at this kind of game, teacher.
Then who is fighting like this with
It's my
her?
turn to strike back. I shall follow the code and counter a spear with a spear.
The giant soldier battle line, which had fully blocked the divine spear, released its holy gold shields. The shields fell to the earth, making the ground shake.
Bro, she said Beatrice does this a lot. You think when she's in the fucking purple void, whenever the fucking her and the other witches are disagreeing and they can't come to a conclusion, they're just like night kaiju fight.
Night kaiju fight.
Kenzo's like, what's that noise? Walks over to the window and fuck, she's doing it again. And it's gonna be like $3 million in landscaping fee. I'm gonna have to buy a new fucking island. Shit.
Oh my god.
At least she's having fun. Just girly things.
Good thing the Avengers haven't been invented yet. When they did, another gold whirlwind arose, and the 7 gold shields changed their forms into 7 massive spears of lightning lying on the ground. At once, each of the giants lifted one of their legs high and firmly stomped it on the tips of the handles. Oh, they did the cool thing. As the earth shook with a thunderous sound, the 7 lightning spears spun beautifully and flew up above the giant soldiers' heads. They scattered into a golden splash and began to fall before the giants. What the fuck? Okay, each of the giants squared off, and with the force of their whole body, they kicked and smashed them. The broken pieces numbered exactly 30 and became lightning spears of exactly the same size as the originals, which made 210 for the 7 giants, and all of those burst at once, with each splitting into 30 thoughts, for a total of 6,300.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Okay.
I love math.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Wayne, you need me to take over, bro?
You
I
mean
got
the
it.
shonen narrator?
They became a barrage of thunderclouds, drawing in a beautiful geometric pattern. And then each changed into 3 bolts of lightning, so that 18,900 thunderbolts shot at the predecessor of Beatrice.
Can your favorite character tank 18,900 thunderbolts?
I don't think so. Do you think Goku could take that?
Oh yeah, easy.
It's
Yeah,
over, Beatrice
It doesn't even
Summer.
hurt him.
Hey, Krillin could tank that.
Oh god, bro. Yamcha even.
I'm
I
not sure
would
about
expect
Yamcha.
nothing less from Madam, unless she was fighting Krillin. In which case she's screwed.
Damn, Krillin.
That bundle of that bundle of almost 20,000 thunderbolts must have reduced the teacher's body to
God.
dust. But there had been no resistance. Beatrice knew immediately that she had been fooled. Oh! At that time, from the direction of that the sun had supposedly set, it's been nighttime!
She made it. So there was a sun behind her. Jesus Christ, were you reading? Oh!
Wait, she created a sun? Actually, Frieza level.
She must be a brilliant scientist like Bardock.
Yeah,
She
dude.
felt the impulsible rays of sunlight.
Now that's the power scale I need. Frieza first form versus Beatrice UMINEKO.
A brilliant ray of light shone on her profile. It was the figure of her teacher holding aloft the spear of the gods that had supposedly been repelled a short while ago. She bore a sparkle like the sun on her back and made it shine on the incarnation of darkness. As Beatrice watched, she was trapped like a mouse in a cage, cornered at a dead end formed by the giant soldier battle line soldier line battle. By now, the predecessor Beatrice had seized a position directly alongside that line.
Playtime is over, Beatrice!
Have I exposed my flank?
Her bold expression hadn't faltered even once, but now it twisted for the first time. And faster than Beatrice could click her tongue, the predecessor Beatrice released the holy spear. As it leapt through the air, it changed its form once more. What the fuck? I swear to God, if it splits apart.
Come, arise!
Dagar?
Vergar brothers!
I'm assuming it's silent. I'm Germanic, so it's silent.
Bestow upon me the giant-smashing iron hammer of heaven!
Giant soldiers, protect me! What are you doing, you blockheads?
By now, it was no longer a spear, but the whirlwind of a massive hammer that raised a sound like a windstorm as it flew through the air. It was the legendary hammer that had shaken even the king of the frost giants, so the giant soldiers couldn't escape from that fear. So, regardless of how strongly their master ordered them, they couldn't get in the path of that hammer.
Back rank, mate! Rest in peace.
What the fuck is happening?
Dude, they're playing the world's largest game of Warhammer. What do you mean? It's obvious.
This is like two kids being like, no, I have Godhammer. It's stronger than
No,
you.
but they're name dropping gods and stuff, so there's lore,
so
idiot.
there's lore!
You have to go to the Wikipedia to find out.
I hate this so much. For the whirlwind of that massive chunk of metal, Beatrice was nothing more than a mere speck. The instant the whirlwind started to suck Beatrice in, she appeared to change into a massive war tower.
Oh. Okay, now she is the tower.
Now she became a tower. The iron hammer smashed the war tower, scattering the tremendous amounts of rubble, but it did not reach she who had escaped behind it. Furthermore, when the smoke had started to settle, the war tower had sucked in the massive iron hammer without crumbling and blocked the way. Even the giant smashing iron hammer couldn't break through the final tower protecting the witch. However, this war tower was actually the witch's last trump card. It was a war tower for dodging that could only save her from danger once.
This is a war tower for dodging!
I'm so taken out of the whole thing right now.
That's awesome.
But this tower was impregnable. No weapon could break through it.
Probably how Battler feels.
My brain. At that time, the moon disappeared as Beatrice hid in the shadows of the giant soldier battle line of the war tower. She looked up at the sky.
Oh!
Who is that? Who is that? Is that Cecil from Final Fantasy IV?
When she did, inside the moon was the figure of a massive horse ridden by the god of war and death.
Oh, I'm sorry. The god of war and death? Okay. Sure.
I'm losing it.
Whatever
The predecessor Beatrice rode the horse with him.
So epic!
Yukishi-san,
necessary?
level with me for 5 seconds, dog. what are we doing here? Like,
You're
I just want to
fine.
know, like, what was the plan? You
Having
know,
fun.
was there a plan even? What does any of this mean?
We're just being silly.
Please, if you see this, let us know.
I feel like I am on crack.
That's how I felt reading this for the first time, so I get you guys.
Oh.
I get you. I understand.
His cloak had blocked the moon and swallowed it in an eerie shadow, and the spear of the gods was in his hands once more. In other words, it was a godly knight who had jumped over the ramparts formed by the giant soldiers and the war tower, attacking from the heavens.
Oh, smothered
Smothered mate.
mate!
Oh my god.
You caught me.
Smothered.
Wait, why is it suddenly like the old style of
It was fun, Beatrice!
It's real.
Oh, my brain.
Oh wait, I think she lost. I
To
think
the
she
death
lost.
between the two witches with the same name was over.
Oh, see now that's a DBZ narrator line.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I should have been doing the whole time.
The struggle between the two witches with the same
Yeah.
name.
The
was
spear that had been launched from the heavens pierced the ground.
Perfect. See now I'm immersed.
The giant soldier battle line and the war tower split up into countless gold butterflies, wrapping the area in a gold-colored storm.
Yeah, we now have a third narrator. Whenever people fight, it has to be DBZ narrator.
Then came the sound of thunder, as the sound of the falling rain and wind. If you looked around, the rose garden was empty. And okay, no, not fighting
Okay,
anymore.
alright.
The butler and the rest were watching the two witches confronting each other. But Beatrice alone had changed. I'm so confused.
Oh.
She'd been pierced straight through by the spear from the base of her neck and right shoulder to her left buttocks. What the shit?
Oh my
Unable
God.
to even reach the ground with her feet. Oh, so she's just being hung, like, by the spear. Horribly exposed like a pitiful pinned butterfly, tormented by the wind and rain.
Beatrice-sama.
As expected, a truly fearsome person.
That settles it, Beatrice.
So now what the like? I mean this with all of my heart. What the actual fuck happens next? Like, what?
Beatrice wore a bitter smile of false courage, but a strand of blood dangled from her mouth, making her look even more pitiful.
I just want to say that like I can't believe that Kumasawa being the original Beatrice is the least crazy thing that
Yeah.
happened in all of this.
Yeah,
That is the most normal thing out of
like
everything we've
that is what I'm trying to hold on to right now to keep myself from like just taking a walk around the block right now. Like I'm about to leave my house.
Well, see, because I think like having a crazy witch battle in its own is like a fine idea. I just think the way it's written is like super confusing.
The title and
Oh
power
my
of
gosh.
the Endless Witch. You will return them to me now, along with the name Beatrice. You are too immature to call yourself an Endless Witch.
Stop. Forgive me, teacher. I was just fooling around, okay?
What the fuck? Oh, you're pathetic.
I will take my name back from you. I shall return you to your original form. Perhaps you should relinquish this power which is beyond you, and live a life suitable for yourself. Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
Oh.
Predecessor Beatrice began to recite the words of power. When she did, small gold butterflies gathered near the skewered Beatrice and began to swarm about her. Like butterflies sucking the nectar out of flowers, they began to suck the magical power out of Beatrice. And it seemed to cause her intense pain. A cry of anguish issued from Beatrice's mouth. She no longer had any power to resist it.
Come, try closing your eyes. Try to remember. What form did you have? Come, Beatrice. Repeat it with me. Let us sing a song together. Then it will be over soon. Let us end your pain as fast as possible.
You're right. How long has it been since I've sung with you, teacher?
Come, together now. Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
They sing together and they go ski.
La 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 la
English
la.
or Spanish, it makes me
No,
freeze.
no,
Screaming,
no,
think of it,
no,
KSI.
No.
They're on the soundtrack right now. Keep reading.
When the two of them began to recite the same song, more and more gold butterflies dance around, swarming around
That's the song they were
Beatrice.
singing.
It will be all right, my lady. You will lose your place as my disciple, but that will not change the fact that you are the lady I serve. After that, I shall read a book for you again. I shall bake you apple pies once more, just like it was long ago. Come, try to remember.
Yes, try to remember. Are you finally starting to remember? Hey, teacher. Did you remember that thing behind you?
Oh my god, guys. She's gonna get her secretly.
What is this?
Yeah, she literally hit her with the nothing personnel, kid. A hedgehog!
Princess Beatrice looked behind her. There was an eerie hedgehog curled up there.
Oh, it was Shadow. Oh.
No, it was herself.
No way, we're gonna meet the other Beatrice
no,
before her.
Another predecessor Beatrice, whose whole body had been packed with ballista shots, lying there like a pincushion doll.
Come, try to remember. What form did you have? Or maybe that's not right. Come, try to remember. How were you killed?
The predecessor Beatrice was stunned. Her form gradually began to fade away.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye!
Goodbye, Kumasawa.
When did you?
At the beginning, I did not summon a pair of shoulder towers. There were 4 towers. Teacher, you carelessly stepped across the 7th rank rook boundary of death, created by the 2 hidden towers, which were left in the distance on either side of you.
What are you talking about?
It was bad manners of me to say check this late. I simply must apologize.
What? Bro, the Quartet Towers!
There are only 2.
You're in a lot of
If
plays.
it was chess, this.
It really was just.
No, it wasn't, because you only have 2 eggs!
What is happening?
Don't yell at me.
The
Guys.
battle had been decided at the very beginning. It had been over since the time the predecessor had leaned forward, readying her holy spear to attack Beatrice, who had been wedged between her shoulder towers. The hidden towers lurking on either side had bathed her in a windstorm of ballista shots from 720 ports on both sides, pinning and killing her.
Guys, it's okay. Beatrice never actually loses.
The ultimate sacrifice, the witch Beatrice. However, Beatrice hadn't wanted it to be resolved like that. She had wanted to let her teacher take her next move and had continued acting as though the game was still on. She had immediately revived her with the endless power and had made her continue the game as though nothing had happened. Okay, so why is she dead now then? Then the predecessor slowly remembered that she had already been killed.
What?
and began to vanish completely. When she did, the spear that had pierced Beatrice also vanished.
Well, if you
Okay,
remember, if you remember the very start of episode 3, they kind of explained the endless magic, because they were talking about the vase, right? The vase had already been cracked, but the Beatrice right here said that she could revive it, but in the end, it's still going to be cracked, just at a different time. So that's why Beatrice is like, "Come, remember your form."
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is like, how did she apply that to like a person? Because according to what the text just told us, like she killed her with an attack, but then I guess she magicked her back alive, so just so at the end she could be like, just kidding.
Yeah, because she's Beatrice. Because of course she would.
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever you say, Ryukishi. Whatever you say, dog.
When she did, the spear that had pierced Beatrice also vanished. I had already read that, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Beatrice finally landed on the ground. There wasn't even a trace of a scar.
It was fun, teacher. If you want to play again, I'll revive you at any time. And once we've had some fun, I'll make you remember that you're a corpse again. See? I did everything you told me to, right? Didn't you tell me to always put my toys back in their boxes when I'm done playing with them?
Was it an easy victory?
You fool! It was a tough one! If I hadn't tricked her with the 4 towers, I would have been the one dead. As I expect from teacher. But now I can stand proud. Now I have completely surpassed teacher. Renove, clean up teacher's remains a bit. I haven't lost my respect for her that much.
Certainly. Tonight's first twilight became a little too rigorous. A little cleanup will be necessary. I shall see to it immediately.
Yeah, also, as a side note, there's just no fucking way nobody saw this. Like, there's just no way. Like, nobody reacted to this happening, you're telling me? Like, nobody heard any noise, or, like, came outside, or saw a giant knight through one of the windows?
Or the fact that the sun came back at 1 a.m.
Yeah, like, saw that the sky suddenly became bright with the sun while the moon was still out. Nobody saw that the sun and the moon were out. Like, I'm just saying, I think, there might have been a little bit of commotion.
They were busy.
I swear to God, if it's like everyone was
They were busy. Babe, you really got the shonen author mentality, actually.
Goats, it's time to clean up.
It cuts back to like everybody in the fucking common room. They're like playing Uno.
When Renove snapped his fingers, blazing, sparkling eyes began to blink open in the shadows and darkness, becoming goat-headed attendants that appeared one after another. One by one, wordlessly stood at attention in a line behind Renove's back. This time what shall be done about the 6 corpses? Another closed room pattern?
I'm in no mood to think now. I will leave it to you, Renove. An extraordinary closed room to torment Badler, if you would.
But is he actually going to do that?
Certainly. Then it shall be extraordinary.
Okay! Where's Badler? Badler!
Were you watching? Did you
see my big moment?
No, sorry, I was on the shitter.
She comes in, okay!
Damn it. After being shown that screwed up magical storm, what can I deny? Forget just witches existing. After being shown that tremendous flashy fantasy, what can I deny now? I don't get it anymore. It was like that last time too. But how can I deny these awesome, wonderful magical battles?
Isn't that right? right? After watching this, you can't talk your way out of it, right? Okay, Battler, let me hear some ridiculous reasoning.
Milady, your laugh is becoming undignified. You're
Shut
being
that shit up, if you would.
You're being, as they say, a cunt.
You're becoming too silly, Beatrice.
Entirely.
Milady, must I put you back in the silly room?
Oh, my apologies, but that isn't my fault. After all, if Battler tightly closes his eyes, grinds his teeth, and shows me that ever so bitter expression, it just automatically slips out of my mouth, you see.
You need to stop making fun of my best friend. I'm George now.
Yippee.
So, Battler Sama, why don't you return to the table without losing heart? Milady is expecting your counterattack, you see.
Quit messing with me! How the hell can I make a counter-argument?
I gave you LSD, so you can just say it's fake.
In the first place, everything was already screwed up when that tower sprouted up out of the earth. Should I say that under the ground in Rokonjima there's a secret laboratory for building super alloy combining robots or something? And that pushing a button can make these strange towers sprout up? Right, and then those huge giants must be the robots. Or maybe an evil secret association's mecha monsters. I don't get it! Don't talk to me!
Look, don't cry, okay? Bang, bang, it's magic! If you want, I'll crush the moon and make comets fall like rain. I could even bury the whole island in those massive breasted neutrons you like so much, see? Come on, look, my turn's over, see? Show me your response, launch your counterattack. You can't, can you? Except that there's a quadrillion things you can't do. You're useless against this, right? You actually like this kind of fantasy, don't you? I get it. That's been going around the streets lately, hasn't it? In manga and light novels, in anime and movies, some teenage brats get a whole bunch of strange special abilities, and they blow up all sorts of stuff with the fate of the world on the line.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
You love that too, don't you? I know, don't hide it, you love it, right? Hasn't the thing you love just been displayed before your very eyes? Why do you believe it in manga and anime, but you won't believe in me? Believe it! You can't argue back, not after you've been shown something like this, right? Look, answer! You don't need to think. You can just obediently say, I'm sorry, Beatrice Sama. Look, try saying it. I'm sorry, Beatrice Sama. Try saying it, say it. Don't be embarrassed.
God. Yeah. Was that great, guys?
So I told you, 1 a.m. the sun comes back up.
we're just gonna time skip.
Yeah.
That's insane.
We're just gonna time skip to 6 a.m. apparently.
Good morning! It's time for school. Oh, man.
There would have been no way to tell that morning had come without opening a window and looking up at the cloudy sky, which had become a tiny bit lighter. It wasn't a refreshing morning. All that could be heard was the sound of the rain, which hadn't stopped falling since last night, and the howl of the wind.
It's hard to imagine that it's morning. This horrible weather speaks for our hearts. Damn, Kyrie.
Get randomly philosophical.
Yeah, holy shit.
Hey, it could be worse. At least it's just rain and not spears falling from the sky, eh?
Hey.
Whether it's rain or spears, it's coming down with a bang. Is it already 6? Isn't this enough? After this, we got no measures we can take till the mystery 19th person, Beatrice, makes her move.
True. However, I believe we have anticipated every trick they might use against us.
That's right. As long as a traitor doesn't appear among the siblings, we should be able to deal with most situations.
Among us.
Haven't we talked about this enough? We've stayed up all night. I was whispering that. The Among Us
Battle
witch. Oh.
Among Us.
I'm tired. You're right. How about taking a little rest after eating breakfast?
A good plan. Staying up all night is trying at our age.
And as they all stretched, they enjoyed this unrefreshing morning as best as they could. I didn't know why that stun locked me, but it did. I'll go wash my face or something. Probably look horrible.
No, you look beautiful. What is that awful stench? Uh-oh.
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 As soon as they exited into the corridor, Kyrie openly made a disgusted expression.
What is it? Hey, don't you smell something awful?
What is this stench? I can't stand it.
After hearing these complaints, everyone stuck their heads into the corridor. The stench was faint, but once people started commenting on it, it was clearly noticeable. Each of them went into the corridor, relying on their own sense of smell to tell them where this strange odor was coming
Battler just blew up the bathroom.
Like a fat dookie. I was gonna say it was somebody's stank punani.
Hey! What?
Kyrie's unwashed
Don't!
pantsuit poopy.
Ew! What in the
Yeah, but
world?
you can talk about Battler's little teenage wiener and it's not weird.
What? I didn't say it. He's 18, isn't he?
That's still a teenager.
Oh my god. What in the world could it be? Let us have Genji. Hey! No!
Cougar, cougar, cougar.
Cougar.
What could you do with it? I believe he should already have arrived in the servant room to begin the morning preparations.
Indeed, please do. At the very least, it's difficult to imagine Goda making a breakfast that would cause such an odor.
Oh, the finest.
Yeah, I forgot it's just the adults still right now.
What?
It's just the adults in the mansion.
Yeah, only the adults are present at the
Oh,
moment.
right. No, okay, they are at the other... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the kids are at the guest house or whatever.
Yum.
God, I forget one of these. You have to remember where people are, so you can't... It's not gonna catch me lacking. I will comprehend the situation.
Honestly, bro, if we're lacking, I'm just gonna say it's been a while. And chalk it up to that.
Rudolph and the others searched for the source of the smell and determined that it was coming from underground. Oh, here we go again. From the boiler room.
Oh boy.
Narrator becomes aware of the script.
Oh shit.
But
Okay,
the door
we're
was
really
locked,
doing this
and
again.
they couldn't check inside. I remember this from last time with the hammer and the thing. At the same time, when Natsuhi's group was on its way to search for someone in the servant room, they noticed something strange near the parlor.
What is this? What a horrible prank! Who would do something like this?
Oh boy!
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
On the door to the parlor, drawn in a paint that looked like blood, was a strange thing that looked like a magic circle.
Stinger.
There's no one in the kitchen yet. What is that?
Ava's group, who'd thought the smell might be coming from the kitchen, had returned after confirming that no one was there and that preparations for breakfast had not yet begun. Then, they noticed the change to the parlor. It's useless. The boiler room's locked. It wouldn't be that bad if something went wrong in the boiler. Has anyone spotted a servant?
Is one of those vulgar scribbles here too? There was another one on the door to the boiler room.
What's that? This creepy scribble isn't just here, but it's in other places too? You don't think this is the Witch of the Forest Beatrice's declaration of war, do you?
Hideyoshi tried to make fun of it, but staring at this creepy magic circle while listening to the wind and rain really made it seem like a message from a witch. The dripping bright red paint made one think of blood, which made it even creepier.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hideyoshi tried to open the door, but it had been locked. As a general rule, the parlor wasn't locked. Someone had gone out of their way to lock it.
What
They
does
had to
this
explain
mean?
that it being locked is not supposed
Yeah.
to be locked twice.
Could it be that while we were talking in the dining hall, somebody secretly left a scribble on the doors of the parlor and the boiler room? I'm sure the servants are behind this. We were together the whole time. We all have alibis. They probably received some strange order from Father and pulled this prank.
And there's also that case yesterday with Maria Chan's letter. It's really easy to suspect that the servants are acting on Dad's orders and planning something. Anyway, where is everyone? They can't be playing hide and seek. Let's look for them.
Before that, I'm worried about the children. They are safe, right? I'll go and check, and while I'm there, I'll see if there aren't any servants at... What? I'll see if there aren't any servants there.
Then let's split up. While you go to the guest house to see how the brats are going, we'll investigate the inside of the mansion. I don't want to think about it, but maybe these creepy magic circles aren't just in the places we found them already.
We might be wrapped up in some bizarre game of Father's. I will get him to go clear up the situation. Though I doubt he'll obediently listen to me.
We're trapped in a game. That's crazy.
I can't wait for the loop where Kraus or Rudolph just kicks down the door and is like, "Dad, the hell!"
We only got one more. So I hope they break in at some point.
Yeah, I hope just Rudolph just, "Dad, the fuck."
He's like, "Oh, hello. Would you like some green?"
Yes, what if you has bowls for once?
Try this shit. It'll get you leaning like a bitch.
The adults split up. As a result, they confirmed that the 4 children were safe in the so-called cousin's room on the 2nd floor of the guest house. They had apparently stayed up late last night playing. All of them were snoring loudly, so Rosa decided not to wake them.
Hello, I'm Roger.
Furthermore, Najo, who returned early to the previous night to rest, was also safe. It seemed he believed the phrase "early to bed, early to rise," and had awoken refreshed.
Hey, goodbye.
Like, "Oh, Najo, you okay? We're not going to tell you what's going on right now. Bye." During that time, Kyrie and Hideyoshi searched for the servants, but they didn't find them. Oh boy. The servant room in the guest house was also empty.
Yeah, if you remember, literally everybody freaking died in Kinzo's room. All the servants. Except,
Yeah.
was Goda there?
Yeah.
Goda was there.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
remember
Goda was there.
he
Yeah.
he
I remember.
he gave Shannon a mercy kill. And
Yeah.
then he died last.
Or that was Genji.
Oh no, you're right. Goda was where the fuck was he when he died?
I don't remember. Hold on. There's a
He
great way
he
to
wasn't
look at this.
with them, but he did die.
Oh, it doesn't say.
Oh, well owned.
Goda died. Okay, yeah, Goda died in...
Oh,
in
in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the pots and pans and shit and all that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
The children are safe. They all stayed up too late last night.
The servant room is empty. I looked at the shift chart and the morning shift begins at 6. I should have started working by now.
The nap room is also empty. There were signs
Nap
that it...
room? Oh, they're disgustingly rich. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
There were
A
signs
nap
that
room?
a futon had been slept in, but it wasn't warm.
Maybe I need a whole room in my house just to sleep for 30 minutes.
True.
Hey, isn't everyone's reasoning right on this? There's probably a game Father set up. He must have left those creepy scribbles and hid himself somewhere, trying to make us do something.
Are you saying he's trying to see who's fit to succeed his wealth in the headship? Isn't that a bit... No. It might not be strange if Father was behind something like that.
After all, Father loves doing things on a big scale. This might have been a finely tuned plan starting as far back as when the epitaph was hung in the hall.
In that case, I wonder if they'll give us an announcement of the game or some explanation of it. It certainly would be nice if an envelope with a crest like the one handed to Maria-chan were to appear.
That's right. Maybe Nissan and the rest have found something like that in the mansion.
Hello,
Dr. Nanjo, have you heard anything about this?
my apologies. I have no idea what's going on. Holy shit.
I woke up early. I went to the dentist. I
took an edible before I went to bed. It's a little
I'm
fuzzy.
sorry. I'm a little fucked up right now. You want one?
Harry the dog.
Yes, certainly. I could easily imagine Kinzo-san planning something on a big scale.
Shouldn't we go back to the mansion for now? Maybe they found something over there.
If I won't be in the way, I shall go too.
I'll stay here. The children are sleeping upstairs. We don't know what's happening.
You gotta go back to the mansion
We
to calm
cannot
down.
leave them alone. That's right. I'll stay with Rosa-san and watch over the place. Would you tell that to my husband?
No.
I like how Annie and I have agreed, though, that the old people on Rokonjima be partying.
Yeah, I didn't even realize we were only doing that joke with the old people.
Maybe they're the
But
only
I like the
freakos.
idea that, like, you fucking Kinzo's elder guard, like, he secretly pulls them into his room to just be turning up and shit.
Yeah. Shannon didn't pass the vibe check. He did it once,
Yeah.
and she freaked out.
Dr. Nanjo, pass me the green.
Rosa and Kyrie remained in the guest house. Hideyoshi went with Nanjo and returned again to the mansion. Rain, and I still see a silhouette of Jesus in the middle. At the same time in the mansion. In a way that was hard to believe, or maybe you should say in a way that gave him a bad feeling. Rudolph's prediction was spot on. The same magic circle graffiti had been drawn on the doors to the boiler room, and the parlor had been found in multiple places throughout the mansion. Anarchy, how's Dad?
It was no use. I received no response. I tried putting my ear against the door, but I couldn't sense anyone.
There's no sight of any of the servants. Where in the world did they disappear to?
This isn't funny. Father and the servants are hiding, and there are strange magic circles all over the mansion. What in the world is happening?
There weren't only magic circles on the door to the boiler room and the door to the parlor. There were 2 on the 2nd floor and 1 on the 3rd floor for a total of 5. They were all the same magic circle. And of all the doors had been locked, so they couldn't check inside the room. Anyway, let's do something about the boiler room first. It'd be bad if something broke down and caught fire, or exploded. So we need the key.
It should be the key box. It should be in the key box in the servant room.
Oh boy, the key box in the servant room.
Yippee.
They fished through the key box.
Oh.
So nice.
Go back, Super Ball announcer. Super Ball? What?
Super Ball?
Super Ball.
What the fuck is Super Ball?
I was thinking of Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
And I
Hello, could I get 1 ticket for
no.
Not for the Super Bowl.
No. You guys are horrible.
1 power, 1 mega.
No, go back, Dragon Ball announcer.
Do
Go
you
back.
have a Mega Million?
You guys are horrible.
They had fished through the key box because each of the servants carried their master keys around. Those weren't kept there. However, all of the individual keys should have been there.
I can't believe they managed to fit so many keys in there.
It
It's almost
isn't
like
here.
it's a box made for keys.
No matter how much we look, the key to the boiler room isn't here.
Look, Aniki. Only the keys to the rooms with those magic circles drawn on them are totally missing. Holy shit.
It's true. How bothersome. It's as though someone didn't want us to go into the rooms with the magic circles.
Wait a minute, neither of you are my wife. Where's my wife?
Wife, where are you?
Okay. No. What? Fuck. Okay. No.
You
they
hear her
went
like
to-
off in the distance. I'm in the other building.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thanks.
No, they went to all the trouble of making those magic circles obvious. So maybe they wanted us to enter. Holy fuck.
I think it's the latter. This isn't a movie, so breaking down the door is probably impossible. Smashing through a window might do the trick, though. For a while, Krause pondered over whether this situation really called for smashing a window. Oh, he would be the when we should break his stuff.
Not very proper, you see. I just, you know.
At that time, Hideyoshi and Nanjo returned. They hear
yeah.
the real heroes right here.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I need a black and white AMV. There goes my hero, and it's just Hideyoshi
yeah.
and Nanjo.
And then there's a beat drop in the middle, and it turns into Hero by Skillet.
Yeah. That'd be
Crazy.
sick. There was nothing strange in the guest house, and the children were safe. They told the others that Rosa and Kyrie had stayed to watch over the place.
Good morning. I heard that something strange has happened. What it was.
Good morning, Dr. Nanjo. I apologize for waking you so early in the morning. What is it? You found a letter or something? I was sure you'd have found something like that by now.
You're right. I also believe this to be a massive joke or game of fathers. But if that's the case, there should be some letter telling us about it. Like the letter that was given to Maria-chan.
What if Maria-chan's letter actually was the announcement telling us that the game was on? The rules of the game, try solving the riddle of the epitaph, have already been made clear.
Guys, you're like so fucking close to getting it.
So close.
Then what might the 5 magic circles we found in the mansion represent? And the missing servants?
Natsuhine-san, how many servants were there today in total?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Huh? Kenji, Koda... 5 of them, but why? Oh.
So, there are 5 servants. There's also 5 magic circles. It's probably coincidence, but I don't like it.
Nissan, let's break a window. We should check and see what's inside.
We have no choice. Do it neatly.
Krause made his decision and gave permission to smash a window.
Like anybody cared about his permission, bro.
Yeah, no, like Rudolph wasn't about to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a walk.
Bro like looks him in the face and smashes it.
Yeah, dead in his eyes, just. He decided that the first room they would break into should be the parlor on the first floor, where the windows would be easiest to reach. They had hoped to peek in through the window, but the curtains were drawn, so they couldn't see inside. Rudolph wandered around the garden trying to find something that would be good for smashing the window. Eventually, he found a rock bigger than a fist and came back.
You don't have to smash the whole thing. Just open it enough so you can reach the lock.
Don't get your hopes up, okay?
I'm gonna smash this shit.
About to go crazy. Rudolph raised the rock and hit the glass with it several times.
Oh! Oh!
Eventually, he succeeded in opening a hole big enough that he could unlock it from the outside. Covering his hand with a handkerchief, he stuck his hand through that hole and cautiously unlocked it. They should probably cover it up with packing tape later. The rain will blow in.
Oh, thanks, Rudolph.
When he suddenly opened the window, the wind and rain made the curtain dance. Well, why did I stay in this one?
Oh. Oh.
When he suddenly opened the window, the wind and rain made the curtain dance around violently. That curtain was blown to the side. They could see into the parlor they knew well. They were a little relieved. They thought there might be another bizarre magic circle inside them. Or possibly the traces of some creepy ceremony. In any event, they didn't want to hang around in the rain, so the 6 of them, Kraus, Natsuhi, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, and Nanjo, entered the parlor as a group.
It seems that nothing in particular has changed. Oh. Shannon? What's wrong, Shannon?
Oh my god.
Wait, are you okay? What happened to you? Uh-oh.
Blood! Blood! Dr. Nanjo, take a look at this!
Hey, Shannon, are you okay? Answer me!
You mustn't shake her. I will examine her condition now.
He's shaking her like, wake up!
Immediately.
Wake up!
Ah!
God, this is why women are so bad in crisis.
What?
Wake up! Keep shaking her.
Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Up next, we got Golden Slaughter from UMINEKO OST.
Alright, this is me. Blah, I
Got
just
it.
had a brain fart. Okay. She'd been in the shadow of the sofa, so they hadn't noticed her until they entered the room. Shannon was lying on the floor, her chest stained bright red with blood.
Oh, we're back.
What's up? It's me, bitch!
It's like a fucking YouTuber intro. Complete with like Kevin McLeod, free copyright music.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, Battler, where are you? Look, Shannon's corpse has turned up, see? I won't bully you anymore, so come out. Oh, there you are. What are you doing clutching at your head in a place like that?
Badler was crouching under the table, holding his head. His pitiful figure made it plainly clear that he didn't want to see anything, didn't want to hear any. He had heard Beatrice's sneering voice. Could he not hear, or was he pretending that he couldn't hear? In any event, it was clear that he'd closed up his heart like a shell. Perhaps you tormented him too much, milady. After showing him all that demanding, a counter-argument, I can understand why he'd want to mope around.
Hey, Battler, if you can't argue back, then resign, okay? It's your turn. If you don't make some move or pass, or else give up, we won't get anywhere.
Ed.
E.T. phone home.
Huh? What's that? I can't hear you.
I said be quiet! Oh, shut up, shut up! A witch magic? Why don't you just do whatever you want? I don't believe any of it! Damn it, damn it, damn it! Don't talk to me, don't show me anything! Disappear, just disappear! Don't get that annoying face near me!
Oh, he's traumatized. Oh no, she's hurt.
Beatrice winced reflectively at Badler's sudden rage.
Even if you say that, if you don't finish your turn, then my turn won't come. In fact, I'm the one asking you to stop boring me.
Who cares? Be quiet, shut up! Who cares about your game? I won't go along with it! If your turn won't come until mine's finished, then just wait for all eternity! I don't know, I don't get it! I won't accept witches or magic, I won't accept something that's screwed up! Oh, I said don't talk to me!
He's having a little fit. Oh. Oh. God.
Did he discover his powers?
Oh my god.
Did he or was it someone else?
Yeah, well, that's the Shannon.
That were awakened.
This is the Shannon bubble. I guess this is him, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what's what anymore. After being shown something that screwed up, how could I resist?
Oh, Jamie, your GIF. What's your GIF?
Oh yeah, custom gift.
Oh, but before the drama, I need to put a GIF on. on the stream.
Oh yeah, custom gift.
I need to put a gift.
In the meme chat in the Discord.
In the meme chat? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I like that.
yeah, baby. Okay, I think that downloaded it.
Hope everybody's having a good time.
Dude, we've kind of been peaking today at like 10 viewers. It's kind of crazy.
Yay, good job. You should put that one right next to Andy's head.
Oh yeah. You can even put it over my face if you want.
Yeah? I
I'm
want to...
battler, dude.
Excuse me.
Put it on his forehead.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I gotta move it. Just gonna
Oh, Beatrice.
gonna put it right there for now. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Let's get back to it.
I wandered aimlessly through the rose garden. It was raining and windy, but that didn't mean my body got wet. There was just a feeling of isolation as I wandered amidst the wind and rain without an umbrella. Maybe I lost in that person's game a long time ago. Actually, didn't we already have a clear winner and loser in the last game? After all, I surrendered for a time. That's why the world was tinted with witches and magic. Right now, Rokkenjima is a different world, where witches stride around openly and fire off strange spells. It isn't a matter of accepting or denying it. Maybe I mistakenly assumed that I was playing a game on an even footing with Beato. Maybe I was already defeated in the last game, and this is just the sign-in ceremony of my surrender. A minute ago, a terrible battle unfolded in this rose garden. I saw it with my own eyes. I kicked the ground. Obviously, the ground was hard, and water from a puddle splashed. Several towers had split this ground, sprouting like high-rise buildings. The more I kicked this ground, the more it felt like that couldn't have possibly happened. But for that very reason, I couldn't explain it with anything other than magic anymore. If it was a closed room with a key shut up inside, I know it was probably an extension of stuff you often see in detective novels. But that big flashy thing? Damn it.
It seems my disciple has caused you much trouble.
Huh? It's you. Someone suddenly spoke to me, so I turned around, and in the rose garden arbor was the predecessor Beatrice, whom Beatrice had supposedly defeated a short while ago. I was sure you died, so you survived.
No, I did die. Now I am nothing more than a defeated chess piece loitering outside the chessboard. God, I gave her an accent.
You're Beato's teacher, right? So in other words, you're a witch too.
Yes, that is correct.
So basically, that means witches really do exist. And the only one who can defeat her isn't me. That'd be you, since you can use awesome magic, right? I'm just useless now. There's nothing I can do anymore.
Oh my. Have you surrendered completely?
What do you mean, surrender? How am I supposed to explain that? Towers sprouting and falling? Huge giants holding shields and throwing spears? Just remembering it makes me feel like I'm going insane! We're way past the point of trying to reason this all out, aren't we? We've left the level of tricks and things that can be explained with human culprits! Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Calm yourself. I'm nothing more than a piece on that child's game board. After being removed from that board, I am no longer a being capable of doing anything. But you are that child's opponent. As long as you do not give up on your own, you will always have the power to strike back.
Shut up! Weren't you also reciting strange spells and summoning towers and spears? What do you mean, strike back? Are you saying you'll teach me magic too, and make me take part in that massive magic battle?
If you wish, I could teach you a bit about magic.
Oh, just what I wanted! Please, give me some awesome magic to smash through her chest in one blow. Don't screw with me.
I hear that in Japanese magic, there is a ceremony used to pray for rain. Do you know of it?
A rain ceremony? That thing where you throw stuff into a fire and dance as an offering? That's not magic. They say that the fire causes an updraft, which makes rain clouds gather. That's supposed to be an accepted scientific phenomenon.
Oh? I believed it to be a form of Eastern magic, but is that not the case? I believe people offered a sacred fire to the heavens, as well as a dance of respect, so that your entreaty for rain would reach the hearts of the gods.
Maybe people did that long ago, but most occult things like that have a scientific explanation.
Why do things burn? Isn't that because
Better give it a try.
I have no clue.
Phlogiston?
Phlogiston?
It seems like
Hold
phlogiston.
on. Guys, we're learning up a new word today, guys. Okay, how to say?
Phlogiston? Do they have oil?
Phlogiston.
Do they have oil? That might be racist.
What the fuck? Phlogiston. Why do things burn? Isn't that because phlogiston is contained in the material?
No, things burn because of a chemical reaction. Lavoisier abolished the phlogiston theory.
Damn. Why does heat transfer through objects? Isn't that because caloric is contained in the material? What are we saying?
I'm pretty sure that was abolished by Joule. Heat is energy, not a substance.
You have studied well. Your knowledge is accurate.
It's just some trivia.
Phlogiston, caloric, and eventually ether and God's love all are powerless before a scientific explanation. In the past, I was told that an apple falling from a tree was thanks to God's love, so that humans would be given food.
So even gravity is the love of God? Well, that's probably the remnants from the period when religion rather than science was used to explain everything.
That is correct. In the past, humans called the limits of their knowledge. No, ignorance itself. Magic. Like the rain ceremony we were just talking about. Did the people of ancient times realize there was a scientific explanation that fire gave rise to heat to cause updraft that summoned clouds? Even without understanding these things, they at least knew the result.
That probably happened a lot. That stuff called knowledge of the ancestors. Even without understanding the reason, through long experience, they knew that they'd achieve results. Phenomena whose principles they didn't understand were probably the same as magic to them. Like this person just said, ancient people who didn't understand those principles probably believed that through the rain ceremony, their wishes would reach the heavens and make rain fall.
Wait, so it's like because magic is based on like reality, perception, and chance, if there's a way to explain it physically, then it'll kind of just like lock in because it's there? Is that sort of the...
I think they're just talking about belief.
The weird... I thought they're... I don't know. I always think about like the rules of the world and that kind of sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Anyway.
I mean, I feel like you're going in the right direction,
Yeah.
right? Because she was just talking about how, like, you know, people believed a lot more in stuff like magic because people were more ignorant, so they had to use it to explain more stuff they didn't understand, right? Which I'm assuming is why magic was much more commonplace back then, because more people believed in it because they were more ignorant, right?
Yeah.
To them, that was certainly magic. As long as they didn't understand updrafts.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. Okay. It's the same.
I'm sipping, relax.
Okay! This song is such a banger. I love the song.
If you push an electrical switch, a light turns on. Wait a minute. Fucking... No. I think I'm tripping. Because I thought this was like other Beatrice talking. The white hair bitch. But I don't think it is, I guess.
I don't know.
No. Children don't know the scientific principles behind why a light bulb lights up. They only know the reason, or they only know the result when they push the switch. If they obtain such a result without knowing the principles, doesn't that make it magic to them?
Oh, it is. Well,
That's pretty interesting. Thank you, myself. Well, logically, that's true. For example, I don't have a clue why the brawn tubes in a TV show a picture. Still, I think it's totally normal to see things shown on a TV. Even if I don't understand the principles behind brawn tubes, I at least know that if I push the switch, I can watch TV. It's exactly the same as having a rain ceremony without understanding updrafts. In other words, if I don't know the principles, even TV is the same as magic. Or even magic itself, I guess.
do you know the structure of brawn tubes? Have you
I
ever
just said I didn't.
Have you ever taken one apart and looked inside?
I just said that I didn't. Nope. I think I read about it in a book or something once, but it was complicated and I didn't have a clue. I think that when electrons hit a fluorescent material, it creates luminescence or something like that.
That book lied. Actually, there are small people called gremlins shut up inside the brawn tubes, and they do their work with magic.
Huh? Don't be stupid. There's no way that's true.
How can you deny it if you have never looked inside a brawn tube?
Man, this devil's proof shit is gay.
I've never looked inside, but I can say for sure that small people like that definitely don't exist.
And I legit had to like reread the text to make sure he didn't actually say that. 'Cause I was like, yeah, that's in character. I was like, wait, he didn't say that? No, he didn't.
Nah.
Oh, that was a joke. Okay, I was like, I thought that was straight up. I was like, yeah.
Since there are no brawn tubes here, that is impossible to prove.
Yeah, it's impossible to prove right now. But later, I can take apart a TV somewhere and show you, and instantly win the argument.
So, put another way, my magical theory that gremlins are shut up inside the brawn tubes and display the picture with magic is impossible to disprove until we can verify the contents of a brawn tube, correct?
What the hell? Is this one of those? Are you trying to say it's a devil's proof? That's a favorite trick of you witches.
A devil's proof is a bit of sophistry? Sophistry?
Alright, chat, more big words.
Oh boy. One that
The use of fallacious arguments with the intention of deceiving.
yes, how do you say
Oh,
it?
okay, so yeah, being a little, yeah.
How do you say it?
Intent.
I mean, it is sophistry. You
Okay.
said it right.
Okay, good. A devil's proof is a bit of sophistry, one that takes advantage of the fact that negative facts are impossible to prove.
I can't wait to use that when I'm like negotiating the price with Comcast. Don't give me your sophistry. I know the bill should be $180.
This chicanery.
However, it's different from it's different from my brawn tube's metaphor. That could be resolved simply by taking apart a single television. Oh my god.
You're right. It isn't really a devil's proof.
You have proposed a scientific theory, and I have proposed a magical one. One of those is the truth. And which one it is can be ascertained the moment you look inside a brawn tube. However, until the instant that happens, we cannot deny each other's theories. So, even though only one truth exists, until you look into the brawn tube, oh my god, you can have two conflicting truths existing at the same time. You have a realm in which two truths can exist simultaneously, even though there must be only one truth in existence.
This is like the longest. This game is like the longest explanation of having a chat.
There you go.
I knew it, dude. I knew we would get here eventually.
Read a visual novel challenge impossible without reading.
Without
Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's
cat.
motherfucking cat.
Level impossible.
Because, bro, it's like number one, like, basic concept of philosophy that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Is she saying that? or is it
I'm
him?
gonna guess she's saying that.
Okay.
Is the cat in the box alive or dead? If you open the box, you will learn the answer. You will learn the truth. However, until you open the box,
You can claim that the cat is alive, and you can also claim that it is dead. Both claims are the correct truth according to the people making them. And even though the two sides are in conflict, neither can win the argument as long as the box remain unopened. In other words, two truths can exist at the same time. Even though there can only be one cat in the box, it is packed with a living cat and a dead cat, forming a strange separate world.
I want the version of this game where like this makes Battler like spin into nihilism, and he's like, well, if both truths exist at the same time, there
Real.
must be a world where each one is true, meaning that nothing I do matters.
Chapter 4, Battler goes to college.
Okay, I'm kind of scared that this is Battler now.
Why?
Cause narration. I'll keep going.
That is what Rokenjima is now. This island is now a different world where a scientific theory and a magical one can exist at the same time.
We
To
gotta
a
think really
resident.
hard about that cat.
To a resident of the world of science such as yourself, okay, good. At a glance, it may feel as though this island had been sucked into a world of magic. That might not be wrong, but it is not accurate. Strictly speaking, it has been moved from the world of science to the gap between that world and the world of magic. So, at a glance, it appears to you as though the world is tilted towards the magical side. But in reality...
Rokenjima is in a fucking quantum superposition.
But in reality, this island is now in a perfectly impartial position with relation to those two opposing worlds.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Because I vaguely understand. I think there was a point in the game where they talked about this. Because I vaguely understand the idea of the quantum superposition. But Shane, could you school me real quick?
Oh jeez, that is a tough ask. But okay, so it is based on that theory that where two things can exist at once, two truths can both be true at the same time until confirmed, one or the other. But you're missing a critical piece of information. It also goes in with the observer theory of you affect the state of something by observing it.
Mm-hmm.
So by observing the contents of the box, that changes the theory. So that's
Right.
observation.
Because it's talking about how like, you know, we as people like have an effect on our own reality based on how we perceive it, right?
Remember how the whole game is based on Battler and Beatrice fighting it out over certainty or uncertainty and things like that. So
Yeah, right. Because basically they're saying like, you know, the Rokenjima, or you know, by extension, if we're talking about real life, the world, you know, is
so
is in
the
like
quantum, so the quantum superposition is you're standing in the box, you're at the unknown. The quantum superposition is where you are at the point where it could be one thing or the other at the same time.
Right, and then, you know, once you open the box and you find out, that decision then turns the unsure reality into the one that is, you know, true, right?
One
Based
or
on
the
you
other.
having a direct effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really say one's true, one's untrue. They're both true at that point.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're both true until you open the box.
Yeah, until you observe, until the observation is made.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, well, they might explain it more, but I guess how that applies to this is the sense that, like, you know, the island exists in, like, this pocket dimension where, like, both rationale and magic can be, like, you know, an explanation for, like, basically anything, but it depends on, you know, like, what that person wants out of the box, right?
Yeah, well, that's the current quantum superposition. Yeah.
Why is the game repeating with different effects? What?
Jamie's just talking about the game in general, like the game, the board.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what different effects they're referring to.
Okay.
Alright.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't really get it. The gap between reality and magic? A perfectly impartial world. How's that?
Hasn't pretty much everything that's happened been totally not in my favor?
Then perhaps you could think of it this way. This is a trial. Think of it as a court where you and Beatrice are laying out opposing claims. Call it a Brawn Tube trial. That's my favorite word. Your opponent claims that there are tiny people inside the Brawn Tubes, explaining one thing after another, talking about the lives of those tiny people, what they look like, what type of magical power they have. And what do you do?
Well, I study in a library and argue back by explaining how Brawn Tubes are constructed.
At this moment, both your claim and that child's claim exist in the court at the same time. If you find your opponent's claim convincing, it might sound like truth to you. It might look like truth to you. That is exactly what you saw. At this moment, on Rokenjima, witches and magic certainly may exist as truth. However, until the moment that the cat's box is opened, that world is an uncertain wave function. The entire situation can be explained by both sides at the same time. However, there is one truth. That set of truths shrinks with observation, and countless truths are weeded out to become one truth. It is like when, in court, the judge hands down his judgment. The two truths from the prosecutors and the defense's claims are reduced in number by the judgment and become one.
To say it in your words, the island right now is the world right before looking into a Brawn Tube, right? Therefore, the science theory and the magic theory can't be denied. And since they can't be denied,
Both can exist as truth. Therefore, both witches and magic can exist. However, at the same time, your opinion of denial also exists as truth. It is a world where two conflicting things can exist at once. And it is a world where conflicting truths cannot disprove each other. Have you managed to understand?
in other words, no matter how much awesome magic Beatos shows me, it's only a claim of a magical theory, and it doesn't disprove my position. So, no matter what kind of magic Beatos shows me in this world, it can't become proof that magic exists.
That's right. That child might even try to explain an apple falling from a tree with magic, perhaps by shaking her staff and magically plucking the apple, then claiming to be the thing that made it drop down to the earth.
Okay, I see what they're getting at.
However, that would be nothing more than another claim. None of your opponent's claims can prevent you from making yours. In that sense, this world is quite impartial to both sides.
Yeah, so basically, like, because of the quantum superposition and because of the island being, like, in between the two realities of magic and, like, realism, basically they're saying that, like, you know, they can both argue whatever they want in support of their position, but because of the literal, like, state of the game that they're playing, it doesn't actually prove anything. Because, like, the world exists in such a way where both can be true, so, like, just seeing it happen doesn't necessarily make it real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I get it. Still, by that argument, if I show a sound argument with my science theory, and it collides head-on with her magic theory, I also can't win against her. On top of that, the final judgment won't come until we peek into the Brawn Tube. Where is the Brawn Tube in this world? Because it exists, there should be no reason for us to argue. Why don't we just get along and peek into the Brawn Tube? If there really is a tiny person in there, it's my complete loss. Otherwise, it's my victory. Why do we have to hold this debate without looking into the Brawn Tube?
That itself is the game you are being challenged to. Maybe instead of a court, I should use chess as an example. There, victory and loss are not determined by a judge. You who fight will decide it yourselves.
Can you win an argument with an opponent in a screwed up world where multiple truths can exist at the same time?
In actual fact, didn't you lose an argument and surrender like this?
Yeah, I guess to a degree that's like it's sort of like a reiteration of what we already know, that like the point of the game was not for them to actually prove anything, but for one of them to get the other to accept their method of thought. Now we just know that the world itself is also supporting that.
That is all the advice I can give you now. If you wish, I can occasionally offer you counsel.
Sure. Thanks. That really helps. I'll avenge you.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
What's your name?
So this is a Destiny debate stream.
Oh, yeah.
Beatrice used to be my name, but now that I have surrendered it, I do not have a name.
Guys, JonTron could solve the mystery.
I shall take a temporary name. Virgilius. No.
Wealthy
How
witches
about-
commit more crime than poor humans.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No. How about Virgilia?
Virgilia? Like Valkyria? Wasn't that a name for goddesses that show up in myths?
No. It means the guide who leads the way to Beatrice. I will guide you to that child who waits at the summit of Mount Purgatory. It ought to be a fitting name for such a guide.
Who would have guessed I'd accept help from a witch when I'm trying to deny witches? I see. If this is a contradictory world where different claims can exist at the same time, I guess that's cool. It's almost funny.
I am borrowing that child's words, but you truly are like a phoenix. Your will to fight has already been revived. Come, if your heart is prepared, return to your opponent. Return to the chessboard where that child is seated. I look forward to seeing how far you can fight with my disciple.
Yeah, watch it. I won't listen to her babbling anymore. I'll coolly fight to the end. I definitely won't get provoked by her any longer.
Famous last
Hey,
words.
Yeah, don't say that.
Then let us return to the seat of the battle.
Oh, Battler! Where did you run off to?
I totally wasn't waiting for you.
And I thought losers never came back for more.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've cooled my head a little.
And did you think of a response to that pleasant, thrilling, refreshing, highly acclaimed, wonderful fantasy battle between teacher and me? Isn't that impossible to explain without fantasy?
Milady, didn't you just promise to be kind and act more gracefully?
Oh no, I just got in such a good mood when I saw Battler's face, you see. Look, how are you going to respond to that battle just now, Battler?
Battle? What battle?
What?
In this rose garden, where do you see those spears and towers you made lying around? They aren't here, are they? In other words, it's just like the inside of a brawn tube. This is an idea I thought of all on my own.
The inside of a brawn tube? What in the world are you talking about now?
At this very moment, there's nothing at all in the rose garden. Towers may have been sprouting with magic until a short while ago. However, that's only the case until we see what's inside the brawn tube. That magical battle is nothing more than your interpretation, your claim. The fact that there's absolutely nothing to see here now proves it. This is how I argue back about that witch's battle just now. Right now, there isn't anything here, which proves that nothing happened.
Come now, of course I can't make a huge mess when it's only the first twilight. And I'm rather fond of that rose garden, you see. To prevent any damage, I had to fight occur inside a barrier. So it's only natural that it wouldn't have any influence on reality.
That's your claim? Well, I guess that works. However, at this point in time, there is nothing in the rose garden. So nothing stands in the way of my claim that there was no magic done here.
Wait, can you deny my magic with a mess like that? It is impossible to prove that magic does not exist. It's a devil's proof.
At this point in time, this garden is the truth. The instant you look inside, the tiny people inside the brawn tube will vanish. And there are no traces
Explain
of
the other
magic
part
at
of the
all.
metaphor, Battler!
He does not give a shit.
So that battle between you witches did not take place.
What the... That counter? That power? Could it be?
Whoa.
Hello.
Have you forgotten, milady? It is the multi-layered worlds reduction technique. The power of a finite witch, the counter to the power of an endless witch. Only an endless witch can perceive it, and it is most effective against such a witch.
Schrodinger's cat box? That old hag of a witch. What an uncalled for hint!
We've lost time, including the 5 servants and grandfather. There are 6 corpses. Let me check the scene. I've been trudging along, wasting time. From now on, I'll speed things up, okay?
Ah!
Let's go!
Take a seat, Beatrice. It's finally the first twilight, isn't it? Let's start the real thing. Show me what you got!
UMINEKO.
Oh boy.
UMINEKO.
Oh bro. Oh.
Man, I can't believe visual novels are such a fire medium that they're able to make what is essentially a Discord debate server so interesting. Rip Beatrice, you would have loved power scaling Discords.
Okay, so
Oh,
now
no
that I
alchemy.
understand the battle, I do hate it less, but it was still very rough to get through.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed that it was meant to be confusing, and you know that whole scene kind of proves that.
Yeah.
But I will still lob the criticism of not entertaining.
Mm.
Is this still battling?
Yeah. Forget
Right?
what the adults.
Yeah. Forget what the adults expected. At least for us kids. These were supposed to be a fun couple of days where the cousins deepen their friendship. However, when we woke up, there was an unbelievably cruel reality waiting for us. George Heineke and Jessica were crying over Shannon and Cannon Coon's deaths.
Damn. Oh. Hello.
By now, everyone who was alive had gathered in the lobby on the first floor of the guest house. And there were 12 people there. Unbelievable, right? There were 18 until yesterday. And in one night, a third of that number had lost their lives. I eventually sobered up from my agitation and, along with the lack of sleep from being woken up so early in the morning, I was beginning to feel a faint sense of unreality. I want to think this is some kind of bad dream. My cheap escapism keeps telling me that over and over. Maria had gone back to sleep on the sofa Rosa was sitting in. Rather than her having nerves of steel, she probably genuinely hadn't had enough sleep.
Oh, yeah, he's got the gun!
Let's go!
Finally, it's not in the hands of a woman.
Wait, it's a different type of gun now. What the
Is
hell?
it? Yeah, it was long. The barrel was longer, wasn't it?
It's even more cut off now.
It just, I feel like it, no, actually, that does look pretty fucking small. It looks tinier in his hands, for sure.
Is Rudolph just big?
Maybe. Maybe he got big hands. The adults were holding items from what was apparently grandfather's collection. Short barrel Winchester rifles.
Oh, they has
Oh,
more.
I guess he had multiple. Okay.
Apparently relics from a time he'd been obsessed with westerns. There were 4 guns altogether.
Check it out. I made a mare's leg. This should blow your head off.
Those had been split up among the 4 siblings. Uncle Kraus, Aunt Ava, my dad, and Aunt Rosa. Paper boxes filled with bullets lay on the table, and the siblings were silently loading them.
It's a little scary. Even now, touching one of these. I get the feeling Dad'll yell, "Don't touch that!" and hit me.
Oh my god.
Well, isn't that great? No matter how much you touch them, you won't be hit again.
Damn.
I can't believe it. To think that father would meet this kind of end.
Well, I never did expect Kenzo-san to die normally in his bed. But even so, it is too horrible. Hey, I wonder if that really was father. I
Maybe
think
we
it
could
might be a
aim it like a
different
little
person's
hooker gun.
corpse. I think that's her fan.
No, I'm saying I wish they would have given Ava
okay.
a little hooker gun.
It'd be funner.
I think it
Little
might be
ankle
a
gun.
different person's corpse used as a substitute to trick us. No, it was father, without a doubt. You saw his toes, right? Generally speaking, there aren't many humans with 6 toes on both feet. But that doesn't mean that such people don't exist. I've heard that polydactyly isn't that rare a disease. He was a man who liked large-scale tricks, right? He might have obtained a corpse from somewhere that had the same number of toes on both feet. Ridiculous. Why would he do something like that?
Bro goes to the morgue and like slams down a check.
Give me your finest 6-toed corpse. I'd agree if it was a normal person, but this is father we're talking about. You can't be sure Kyrie-san's talking nonsense.
After all, a burning corpse makes it hard to identify. Still, there should be a few ways to examine him from his teeth and bone structure. If the police investigated, of course they'd be able to know whose body it was right away.
The problem is that we need a telephone engineer more than the police right now.
The boats probably won't come in this typhoon. So, will they arrive tomorrow? Most likely, the boat will come again at 9 tomorrow. Then I believe we'll be able to contact the police. It's the same for us, and the culprit. Until the typhoon passes, this island will be closed off.
You're in the box.
Yay. Just from our parents' conversation, you could probably figure out the general gist, but let's explain the situation anyway.
Oh.
First, early that morning, in various places throughout the mansion, a total of 6 corpses, including grandfather and all the servants, had been found one after another. First, grandfather had been found in the boiler room, completely burnt. The servants had died, each shut up in the rooms throughout the mansion that had magic circles drawn on them. The cause of death for the servants was uncertain, but according to Dr. Nanjo's diagnosis, there was a high likelihood that they had been stabbed by something like a spear, or possibly shot with a gun. That was why the adults had started arming themselves with the Winchesters. And what made the situation even more chaotic was the fact that the telephones had become unusable. Telephone, no. It was unknown if lightning had caused them to break down or if the culprit had broken them. At any rate, since contact with the outside had been cut off, we couldn't reach the police. So until the typhoon passes and a boat comes tomorrow morning, we'll have to protect ourselves. After all, Rokkenjima is now isolated by the typhoon. And just as we're stuck on the island, so is the culprit.
Would satellite phones not have been a thing yet?
I don't think so. Because they were made in the 90s. Because they had pagers, but satellite
Well, I was
phones...
thinking, when is Jurassic Park set? 'Cause they have satellite
I'm wondering
phones.
if the island is even the kind of place you could get a signal.
True.
It seemed that the adults had stayed up all night, holding a family conference in the mansion's dining hall the whole time. And yet, the crime had occurred in the mansion. So right when the adults had been in an uproar over money, the murderer had been killing on the same roof. They say Aunt Natsuhi's been strict about locking the doors and windows at the night. And yet some suspicious person had entered and left the mansion. The adults had decided that the inside of the mansion was too large to be safe. So they had pulled out the guns and moved to the guest house where we had been. Which brings us to the present. George Aniki had begged to see Shannon Chan's corpse, but the adults had refused, saying that he mustn't do so until the police arrived. That wasn't just because they wanted to seal all the rooms to preserve the scene. After all, the culprit who had killed 6 people was wandering about the mansion. To the Ushinomiya family right now, the mansion that should have been their home was now a danger zone that an unknown murderer could enter and leave at will. After all, it's a huge mansion. There are plenty of blind spots in dark places, and it's too vast to guarantee absolute safety with this number of people. Relatively speaking, the guest house was much smaller. It had 2 above-ground stories, something like 10 or so rooms. Apparently, it had originally been constructed to serve as a small hotel, as part of the plan to turn this island into a resort. So it was easier to know what was going on everywhere inside it, and it'd be easier to keep safe. It made a good place for us to hold up in. Also, it was extremely likely that this mass murder of 6 people was a game. After all, the culprit had proclaimed so in a letter. I heard that a Western-style envelope with the family crest, just like the one Maria claimed to have received from Beatrice yesterday, had been found in the boiler room where grandfather's corpse had been discovered. This was what the letter said, so that there will be no misunderstandings. The game I seek is for everyone to try and solve the riddle of the epitaph, not for you to try and catch me. If you don't solve the riddle, the pitiful sacrifices will further increase in number. It would be wiser to spend your time solving the epitaph instead of searching for me. If no one can solve the riddle, no one will survive. If a person appears who can miraculously solve it, I'll give them all the gold of the Golden Land, the Ushinomiya family headship, and all of my power. I was the one who succeeded the Ushinomiya family headship after Kinzo-sama. I look forward to seeing who will succeed to that headship after me, the Golden Witch, Beatrice. The riddle of the epitaph was that thing. That strange epitaph written by the portrait of the witch on display in the hall of the mansion. Grandfather was the one who had written it, and the person who solved it would, supposedly, be given the inheritance or the hidden gold or something like that. Ever since it was first put on display there several years ago, the relatives had secretly tried to solve that riddle, despite saying on the surface that the whole idea was silly. However, up until today, no one solved it. We were once again being urged to solve that unintelligible riddle, and this time we were faced with the threat that we'd all be killed if we couldn't solve it. If that wasn't a game, what else could it be? The bold opinion that we should search the premises for the culprit did come up once. However, there was a good chance they were armed, and there might not be just one. And while they might have been able to kill more than 6 people, they had stopped at 6. The opinion that won out in the end was that we should avoid needlessly antagonizing the culprit, and hole up in a safe place while we waited for the police to arrive. After the adults carefully checked that the doors and windows in the guest house were locked, they set up camp in the lobby. As they loaded their guns to distract themselves from the tension, their expressions showed that they were already fatigued from this long day, which had still barely begun. There was nothing for me to do. Now, all I could do was be taught how to use a gun, to prepare for the off chance of something happening that led to an excess of guns. That's fine. Just obediently stay there, me and the rest of you. 6 people in the beginning again, and this time it's grandfather and all the servants put together.
Most likely, that child has carefully studied your moves from the last game,
Oh,
and
this is
has
kinda
made an
fire.
optimal move by taking the pieces you were most likely to suspect from the start.
They're like buddy cops now.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That was true both last time and the time before that. The servants, who knew everything about the mansion and who walked around with keys, always fall into the most suspicious category of people. A good example in the last game would be Jessica's closed room. If I'd only accepted that a servant was the culprit, that wouldn't even have been a closed room.
And so, that child went straight for them, probably to block off a method of escape you'd be likely to attempt sooner or later.
Beato already proclaimed in red that there are no more than 18 people on this island. In other words, it's time to give up on that. Now I've got to suspect one of the 18.
Character growth! That child would probably come at you by stealing the pieces for all the 18, while also making an appearance as a 19th person who shouldn't exist, for then you would be forced to accept that your opponent is a witch.
Yeah, this is kind of huge, actually, that he's willing to, put the blame on somebody. He's
Yeah.
willing to entertain the idea that someone might secretly be Beatrice.
After all, now that the intimidation approach has failed, trying to force you to surrender by showing you magic, the only remaining option is a frontal attack.
Perfect. Bluffing won't work anymore.
Be careful. Deception is what witches are best at. No matter what your opponent says or shows you, it will not be able to threaten the truth that you believe in. Don't forget that.
Sure, as if I'd fall for the same moves over and over. Come on out, Beatrice. Let's get started.
I am already seated at the table of the contest, and my turn is already complete.
Renove!
Yeah, sorry. I was drinking water. To think we would end up having Madam as our foe. This will not be easy, Melody. Our moves will be read thoroughly.
I care not. By now, teacher's moves are all old-fashioned classics. There is nothing to fear.
You know what they say, chat? You can't beat the classics.
So, just what moves can you make beyond the classics I taught you? I look forward to seeing Beatrice.
You okay with this, Battler? Can someone who denies witches really accept a witch as a strategist?
Your stupid provocation is pointless. This is my advisor. No, my second. That doesn't change one bit that this is a fist fight between you and me.
I understand. One as wobbly as yourself probably needs training wheels on his bicycle. Do as you like. Come, let us begin. It's your turn.
Whoa.
Shit.
Let's begin with the reconstruction of the crime scene. Virgilia, quickly, please.
The first corpse discovered was Shannon's. She was found in the parlor on the first floor of the mansion. The door and windows were locked, and a closed room was established.
Beato, I need some details. Let's reconfirm the definition of a closed room.
Indeed. The term closed room refers to a room where the inside and the outside are completely cut off from each other. Naturally, it will be impossible to even affect things across that boundary line, much less enter or escape across it. This includes all-inclusive denial of the existence of hidden doors, as well as all possibility of intervention from the outside. Henceforth, this shall be referred to as Beatrice's closed room definition.
Let's focus in a bit. How do you define all possibility of intervention from the outside?
I refer to all types of direct intervention from the outside, such as using a fishing line or a long, thin rod. In conclusion, there are no gaps in the doors and windows through which such tricks will work.
I wonder about that. Even if there wasn't a gap, you should be able to interfere with radio waves, like with a remote control, right?
Very well. I'll add to this definition that interference due to radio waves and related methods of remote control shall be impossible.
There's also an extension telephone in the parlor. A device connected to that wouldn't count as a remote control, right?
The phones are already unusable, are they not? Whatever. I'll include that too. All direct and indirect methods of interfering with the inside of the closed room from the outside of the room are impossible.
What about a voice or a knock? Those should be able to interfere from the outside without someone entering the room, right?
Even though it's a closed room, it probably isn't impossible for someone to knock or call out. The closed room definition does not cover whether transmission of intent across the boundary is possible or not.
Okay. In other words, you can't make it so your definition includes the blockage of all methods of communication with the outside.
That is indeed the case. Sorry, my nose is a little runny.
You get it, bro? Understood.
My health cute.
So, Shannon Chan's parlor satisfies Beatrice's closed room definition, right?
Correct.
Closed room definition understood. Continue, Virgilia.
Yes. Shannon's corpse was in possession of one master key. The relatives who discovered her collected this.
Beato, repeat it. How many master keys this time?
The same as last time. There are 5, 1 for each servant.
Which means this still isn't a closed room. There are still 4 master keys left. It just means that after Shannon Chan was murdered, one of the other 4 keys locked it.
Correct. And it wasn't only a master key that was found.
Yes. Alongside the corpse, there was a western envelope with a family crest. Instead of a letter, the key to a guest room on the second floor was inside it.
Key to a second floor guest room. The only key other than the master key that can open the door to that second floor guest room. Is that definition correct?
Indeed, there is no problem. And unlike the master keys, only one of those exists.
In other words, apart from the 5 master keys, there will be only one key that can unlock certain rooms.
In other words, this is a message telling them to go to the second floor guest room next. So the adults move to the second floor guest room, right?
Yes. The door to the second floor guest room was locked, and a magic circle was drawn on it. The relatives unlocked it with a key they had found near Shannon's corpse. Inside, Kumasawa's corpse was discovered. It was a closed room. One that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Kumasawa was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And unlike Shannon's case, there was a western envelope discovered alongside her. Inside was the key to the third floor waiting room. The relatives moved to the third floor waiting room.
So, there was a magic circle on the door to the third floor waiting room, and that door was locked?
Yes. Inside the room, Goda's corpse was discovered. The room was a closed room, one that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Goda was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And like up until now, a western envelope with a family seal was discovered, inside of which was the key to the second floor VIP room. The relatives moved to the second floor VIP room.
What's going on here? What are you planning?
There's no need to glare, is there? It may be a closed room, but there are still multiple master keys that can open it, correct? And besides the master keys, I've even give you keys specific to each room.
I don't like where this is going, but I'm starting to see how it'll turn out. So it continues like this for all 6 people.
Yes, that is correct. Inside the second floor VIP room, Genji's corpse was discovered. One master key was collected. The key to the underground boiler room was discovered. They moved to the underground boiler room. Inside the underground boiler room, Kinzo's corpse was discovered. The key to the chapel was discovered. They moved to the chapel. Inside the chapel, Cannon's corpse was discovered. One master key was collected. The key to the first floor parlor was discovered. With this, our reconstruction of how all 6 corpses were discovered is complete.
An addendum. Along with the key to the chapel, a letter was enclosed in the western envelope found near Kinzo's corpse. The contents of the letter were as you saw. It further urged relatives to solve the riddle of the epitaph.
In that case, what's going on? If the last place where Cannon was had the key to the very first room, the parlor, where Shannon was, that makes 6 closed rooms all tied together, right?
That is correct. The 6 closed rooms are all tied together. The keys to unlock each one are all shut up inside the next room. In other words, the 6 closed rooms form one massive closed room, and all of the master keys as well as the individual room keys are shut up inside it. Furthermore, all of the doors and windows in the 6 rooms are normal. No device exists which can lock them without a key, such as an auto lock. What do you think? It's beautiful, isn't it?
You know, I just realized actually that the quantum superposition thing with Rokenjima sort of reframes the red as well, because now we know that when she says that, it is like quite literally unequivocally true without needing any kind of proof, regardless of perception. So like now we know for sure anything she said in red did for real happen in the crime.
Indeed, that's a part of it that's not in the box. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Once again, milady, that is not dignified. When Renove rebuked her, Beato stuck a tongue out at him without showing any signs of shame. What a child.
Sorry. Playing with Battler just put me into such a good mood. So, Battler, what do you think of my move? If you can't think of anything in particular, I wouldn't mind showing you how I made the goats carry the corpses. And seal all of the rooms with magic, okay?
I'm the only goat on this side.
Hell yeah.
Do what you want. I'll listen respectfully to this magic theory that you claim is true. However, I can claim my human theory, even though it's completely different from yours, without any interference from your claim. In other words, there's no need for me to pay attention to your bullshit. Go ahead and show me how you can lock the door with your multicolored magic simply by waving your magic staff. Just like those guys with their toad oil and all-purpose kitchen knives.
Huh?
Damn.
Wee-woo!
He's talking about infomercials.
Oh!
Man literally pointed at Beatrice and was like, Cutco.
Actually. Virgilia, let's reconstruct the crime scene. Search for a weakness. Were they all definitely dead? If one of them is just playing dead, this isn't a closed room at all.
Nanjo confirmed that all of them were dead. However, due to the devil's proof, it is impossible to deny the possibility of a wrong diagnosis. In other words, the child cannot make the likelihood that Nanjo overlooked them being alive equal to 0.
Here it is, that devil's proof. But there exists a sword that can carve that up.
What's up with them? Looks like they're having a good time, leaving me out of the discussion.
Super.
I'm his opponent, am I not? Doesn't he have any time to spare for me?
Oh, she needy.
Fundamentally speaking, communicating with one's opponent is not necessary to the act of competing in chess.
That's so funny.
Every time you've communicated with him outside of making your moves, you've used that opportunity to confuse him. Perhaps this is the result of him not wanting to be led astray. He's catching on to your bullshit.
For some reason, I don't like it.
You are challenging him to a chess match, are you not?
That's true, but... Ugh!
Beatrice puffed out her cheeks as though to say, I don't know why, but I don't like it.
That's what I literally just said.
Because the police had not yet arrived at the crime scene, the human side's ability to inspect the scene is limited. For a strict confirmation of death, I recommend that you have that child repeat it in red.
Okay, that's where I'll strike. Repeat it! The 6 victims are all dead.
Milady has told you to repeat something in red, has he not?
Hey, enough lazing around! Do you refuse to repeat it? This is where our battle starts.
What? Oh! Sorry, that's fine. I'll answer. These 6 are all dead. Kinzo, Genji, Shannon, Kanon, Goda, and Kumasawa.
Why are you so out of it? Okay, so I've already got one out of you. We'll start by denying that classic trick where the victims are playing dead.
I won't go easy on you anymore. Come at me how you like. I'll slice them slantwise, one after another.
Then repeat this! No one is hiding in any of the 6 rooms. Let's see you deny the existence of people we weren't aware of.
Aware of?
Aware of. Widowy.
I'll answer. There is no one hiding in the 6 rooms.
Oh, flick. Okay, now I'm sure it's only the 6 of them in the can, and they aren't pretending to be dead.
What will you do? What will you do? As if a human can manage anything by now. Obediently kneel to the fact that I can control locks at will with my wonderful magic, okay?
Quit babbling. Repeat this, too. The 6 deaths were instant deaths.
Instant deaths? Oh, what do you mean by that?
It means there's a possibility that a single victim on the verge of death managed to escape into the room, and after locking it from the inside to create a closed room, they passed away.
The classic closed room murder trick, one requiring that the victim receive a fatal wound and then die later. It is possible for a closed room to be constructed unexpectedly if the victim holds up inside the room to escape the murderer, and then dies after locking the door.
In order to deny that possibility, you will need to proclaim that the 6 died instantly with the red truth.
Very well. I'll slay you with my red treasured sword. The 6 died instantly. By died instantly, I mean the targets instantly became incapable of action after being attacked. Well, it might still have taken them several seconds or minutes to die in the complete sense of the word, but regardless, it was completely impossible for them to take any actions of their own will. In that sense, I can confirm that they suffered instant deaths.
Up until this point, I've just been checking for the classic tricks. Now's when our showdown over the closed rooms really starts, okay? If the culprit isn't on the inside, then they're on the outside. So they somehow killed from outside the rooms.
Have you lost your mind? After all, a closed room equals murder is impossible from the outside, right? That's why only a magical murder would be possible.
No, that's wrong. The right approach is a murder really happened equals it isn't a closed room. No matter how much you try to trick me, this definitely isn't a closed room. It's a sham that only looks like one.
However bad this armor, only the victims are inside the rooms, and no other people exist inside the rooms. And by Milady's closed room definition, remote murders from outside the rooms have been clearly denied, have they not?
Wait, the definition of remote murders is pretty broad, right? It's not about just pulling a fishing line from outside the room and strangling the victim inside. For example, a trap would make for an excellent remote murder.
A trap? Oh, and what might that be?
Just as an example, let's say they were instructed to enter rooms that someone had picked out beforehand, and locked the doors from the inside to create the closed room themselves. A trap was set up in those rooms that they didn't know about, and that's what killed them. How's that? That doesn't contradict anything!
There are no problems. It corresponds to the existing state.
There are no problems on our side either. It does not conflict with Milady's closed room definition.
The closed room.
What's with that stupid reasoning? Nothing suspicious was found in any of the rooms, right? What form did that trap have? Where was it hidden? How did it operate? Explain that for all 6 of them. In the parlor, the guest room, the waiting room, the VIP room, the boiler room, and the chapel. Well, you can't, can you?
But neither can you, because you'd have to open the box! I refuse to counter that. There's no need for me to explain. Failing to do so doesn't damage my claim.
What did you say?
Beatrice, it's the devil's proof. The fact that he cannot explain the nature of the trap does not in itself deny the existence of such a trap.
Oh!
Yeah, bitch, you gotta open the box!
Well done. While overbearing, a wonderful move.
This guy's getting completely used to this.
Check. Due to murder trap X that we couldn't find, it'd be possible to establish this closed room murder.
I'll kill that chick with the red truth. The 6 were not killed by traps.
And the definition of a trap?
That's it. Something that activates when the victim triggers it on their own. Oh, and that's not all. It also includes things activated by remote control or by a timer. Everything of that sort.
It refers to all arrangements that could carry out a murder without direct participation of the one who planned it out. Perhaps we might sum it up that way.
Okay, so nothing automatic could have killed
How's
them.
that? I've struck back. As if I let a human crush this closed room.
You're looking pretty frantic to win, too.
What? What do you mean?
You're frantically fighting to make me accept your existence. Until now, I thought I was just being toyed around with by you one-sidedly. But that's not exactly true. You're also frantically resisting my counters, fighting to show that you exist. Now, I finally really feel that it's true. This isn't torture inflicted on me over whether I'll surrender or not. This is a fight between you and me on even footing. Okay, now it's starting to get interesting, isn't it? All 6 died in closed rooms, and no outsiders were inside. And there was no meddling from the outside, and also no traps. Until now, I'd probably start suspecting that this had to be the work of magic. And if you decided to show off some bizarre magic at this moment, I might have even surrendered. It's that favorite strategy of yours. You intercept all my moves, and in the moment I've exhausted all options and fallen to my knees. When my heart's barriers are at their weakest, you show off some strange magic and take the game all at once.
That short temper is something this child has always had, along with a bad habit of rushing things when victory is in sight.
Good. After all, milady, cannot stand putting off a match.
Yeah, AKA, she's what's it called? She's a fucking what's it called? She's not playing optimally.
Hey, shut up! Shut up! It's Battler's turn, right? I finished off that trap piece you advanced. What should I repeat next?
Yeah,
Show me what you've got.
She's hella mad about the peanut gallery. Right. Now that even traps have been defeated, this looks like a perfect closed room murder at a glance. And that's why I'll spin the chessboard around right now.
Here it comes, that special technique of yours. How exactly are you going to spin what around? Try showing me!
Yeah, I'll show you. I don't need to think of how 6 people could be killed inside closed rooms from the outside. It's useless, it's useless, it's all useless! That's right, the question isn't how you can kill from outside the rooms. The point is how they died inside the rooms, making them closed rooms. That's it. This is the answer! If you assume that one of the 6 victims was the culprit, this closed room can be explained extremely easily.
What?
Yeah.
Ridiculous! I believe I clearly said and read that the 6 of them were dead.
Oh, there were 6 deaths. 5 were victims who got killed. But if you assume that the other person committed suicide, you can destroy this closed room!
Certainly, if the culprit locked themselves in the final closed room and threw away their own lives, this room chain would be established. And literally any of them could be the room.
The suicide of the culprit. Normally, it would be an unthinkable move, but the argument that the unthinkable cannot exist cannot be used. And he has no responsibility to demonstrate a motive, a truly powerful move, which can only be used in a chess match against a witch.
Well, one cannot be certain that there was no motive. For example, it has been announced that Kinzo had only a short time to live. Perhaps he did not regret losing his short remaining life and used his own death to send a message. It might possibly be to attach such a motive. Milady, it is our turn.
Indeed! To think you trample even the dignity of the dead to create a culprit! What a heartless, cold-blooded man!
I'll set up the dead as the culprit. This worse than inhuman move is one you used to attack Cannon-kun in the last game. Even though the games are different, I'm taking a shot back at you with this move. As a tribute to Cannon-kun for that time. Just now, I freed that Cannon-kun from his regrets!
You have no responsibility to hold back here. You should try to confirm that suicide wasn't the cause of any of their deaths. I recommend that you have that child repeat it in red.
Right, but suicide's a naive word that won't corner her. Beato, this'll stop you! Repeat it! The 6 deaths were all homicides!
Ooh, that is painful. He got you there. Going to need some ice for it.
What's wrong? All 6 of them were killed, right?
I'm just confirming that simple premise we've had from the very beginning, right? Can't you repeat it?
I refuse to repeat it. There's no reason in particular.
You realize that refusing to repeat this part is the same as resigning, right? Checkmate! One of the 6 was the culprit, and they planned to commit suicide after constructing the closed room. That's all!
Wait! No, I'll say it! I'll say it! I'll
She's
use the
hella-
red like you
oh!
want! None
Yo,
of the
yo, yo,
6 committed suicide!
She's hella folding right now! Oh shit, he's got her back into a corner.
How's that?
Oh, shit.
Are you satisfied? I've struck back! I've struck back!
What the hell? So you can say it. That's strange. Why are you so panicky?
So
It's
close.
your imagination. This time, even I'm feeling the pressure. That's right. I don't have any leeway. Pay no mind. The line you asked that child to repeat has been altered. Do not be fooled. Ugh.
It seems not to have worked, my lady.
Hold on, can we go back to the log? What did she say? What specifically did she say? Up a little more? Yeah, she said none of them committed suicide, not they were all homicides. She hella tried to pull one over him.
Yeah.
That's right! She didn't say the 6 deaths were all homicides. She changed it to none of the 6 committed suicide. Which means one of them wasn't killed by someone else and didn't commit suicide. Ah. I've got it! This is the truth! Culprit X, who was hiding among the 6, murdered the other 5 and then set up a closed room. After that, they planned to escape from or hide in that room by some method. However, they got in an accident! The culprit died from an accident that they haven't even expected, setting up a closed room murder that they didn't even desire. Dude, I'm so hype, I can't fucking get my grammar. I'm not gonna lie, this shit getting really good, actually.
Yeah.
Now it's over, Beatrice. Checkmate!
Anytime Battler gets the upper hand is always an epic moment.
Damn
really
it!
is fun.
Did you think I'd be cornered by something like that? I'd never announce my resignation over something like that. I'll slice up that foolish checkmate with my red treasured sword over and over again. None of the 6 died in an accident of...
My apologies. We lost some time to strategize. Please allow us a brief postponement.
No
on this
way,
matter.
she had to get bailed out?
It's a fair request. Perhaps you should accept it.
Oh, shit. Sure, take a break. I've been giving those a lot lately. Now it's your turn to take one.
Thank you very much. Come, milady, this way. Let us quietly count to 100 in our heads.
Oh my god, hella putting her in timeout.
Get your shit together, Beatrice. I swear to God you're making demons look bad.
Renove quickly covered Beato's mouth with his hand as she grew thoroughly panicked and agitated, suspending the game. He pulled Beato away, supposedly to hold a strategy conference.
Fire. Absolutely fire.
Yeah, I think I'm assuming the implication is that she was about to say something in red that would make her lose, and I
Yeah.
think he picked it up before she did. Damn, that demon butler. When Beato got all hot, I had a perfect chance to corner her. Beato normally acted like she was graceful and above it all, but she actually had a really short temper and got mad easily. Her usual intellect had less of a voice when she got excited.
As soon as Renove got involved, he made the game fun for him by helping Battler to a point, and now
Yeah.
he's actually playing that it's up to his standards, is how it feels.
Yeah, right. Because he talked about how he was like, "Oh, this might be entertaining," and once it started getting good, he was like, "Okay,
Well, once he saw it starting to get good, he kind of helped Battler along.
yeah, right." Because he's the impartial, so
Yeah.
he wants to make sure that the game continues as long as possible. I think until somebody wins, because he
Yeah.
didn't want Beatrice to have a pathetic loss.
Yeah, no. Now that Beatrice was about to make her kerfuffle worse, he was like, "Oh, all right,
All right.
give us a moment."
Renove certainly is thinking clearly. He probably gave your opponent some time to cool down. That child grew too stubborn trying to remove your check, and was about to easily let several large pieces go. After all, the first twilight is only a skirmish. The correct move at the time would have been to withdraw.
So, what does it mean? Did I reach checkmate, or didn't I?
That child was about to say something in red. You probably wouldn't have reached checkmate yet, but most likely, you can expect our opponents to resign once they've cooled their heads.
You're joking. Even though she hates losing that much?
Yes. In a losing battle, it is essential to withdraw your troops as soon as possible to try and minimize your losses. The difficult part is gauging whether it's a losing battle or not. Your opponent's butler seems to have calmly made that decision.
Oh well. In other words, she managed to escape by a hair's breadth. Getting checkmate and delivering the final blow won't be that easy for me.
However, you should count this as your victory. It seems they barely managed to prevent a large loss, but they certainly sustained considerable damage. The scale of that child's panic ought to make the depths of that wound quite clear to you.
Seriously. I feel like she'd start crying if I bullied her anymore. As we talked, Renove returned with Beato, who wore a meek expression. She didn't yet have her usual bold smile, but it looked like the blood wasn't rushing to her head anymore. Hey, it's your turn. Did you decide on your next move?
I resign. For now, I will let you have your victory.
Damn.
Beato told me that frankly. It seems she'd taken a far-sighted view, as though saying, if you want to laugh, then laugh. It was a bit of a killjoy, and I lost my desire to deliver the final blow. Well, now that you've resigned, that just means we're even, since my theory and yours can't deny each other. You should treat it more like a tie than a loss.
I don't need your disgusting sympathy. I'm telling you that I lost this round. When you find a dog drenched in rain, do you have a sudden urge to whack it with a stick or something?
Nope. I'm not you.
Damn.
Even though she ridiculed me horribly when I showed signs of defeat, this is the best she's got when the tables are turned. I did feel that was pretty cowardly of her, but I decided to act with dignity as the victor and let it slide. Beato resigned. That's the one result of the first twilight. Beatrice couldn't counter my move if one of the 6 was the culprit and that person died in an accident. No, she probably could have countered it, but for some strategic reason, she admitted defeat. It felt less like I'd won, and more like I'd let her slip away at the last second. In a chess match with a witch, battles can be fought solely with pieces known as X, which require no detailed explanations. Thanks to the Devil's Proof, I could create as many strange fictions as I wanted, and use them as fighters in our argument. But that only works in a chess match with a witch. In our human world, you can't use such abstract theories to explain things.
Ah, Battler, you don't know about American politics.
Oh yeah.
The lizards!
They eat
The
the
first
dogs.
twilight was a chain of 6 closed rooms. It certainly may have been possible for a human. Beato wasn't able to deny all possibilities. However, I don't have a clue who committed the crime or why, or how they actually did it. It may seem strange to hear me saying this after I won, but for some reason, I felt like I'd have been more satisfied if Beatrice had been able to say definitively that it was impossible for humans. Oh, that's kind of a big character shift, because that means he's starting to get more invested in the real truth. I managed to avoid specifics using an abstract piece called X, but I couldn't deny the sense that some eerie intent that must never be known was filling up this entire mansion.
You know, that he's working better focusing on what actually happened to his family instead of how can I beat Beatrice.
Yeah. Oh, the clock. It's getting closer. It's
And how
8
can I...
o'clock.
Yeah, because it's more... He's realizing, I think, that it's more than just proving that magic isn't real. It's like he needs to find out what happened to his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And to do so, he has to let go of his preconceived notions and be more open-minded.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it okay if we take a break here? I need a pee.
Okay, I mean, just so you know, I can probably do like 30 more minutes.
30?
Is that okay?
Okay, I don't need to pee.
Well, you can go pee still.
Go pee. 30 minutes from pee.
Okay, pee time. We.
Oh, listen to me. You gotta listen.
I didn't hear you.
This
Okay.
just the friendship ended with Mudas here. Or what was the the Indian guys? You know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
friendship.
Yeah.
I forget their names.
Yeah,
I used to know the lore, man. I used to know.
so sad. Welcome back, everybody. We all peed. All of us
I
peed.
didn't.
All of us peed.
Okay,
Metaphorically, physically.
Good battler
Just the
again,
band.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. When being besieged, your true enemy isn't so much the fear of an unseen culprit, as it is keeping such fears alive for long periods of time. Maria got bored and started complaining that she wanted to watch TV. There was no TV in the lobby, so she decided to return to the cousin's room on the second floor. The adults probably wanted to make sure Maria wasn't left on her own. They told all the children to go to the second floor cousin's room. George, who was grief-stricken by the loss of his fiancée, led the cousins up the second floor without any resistance. At first, Namjo had been reading a book in the... Wait a minute, I just realized, this might be the narrator.
Wait,
Now they're gone.
Yeah, I guess so, because you didn't
I
say
think it was
George
the narrator the
Nissan.
whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, but
George-
Shane, you can pick up.
I bet.
Okay. At first, Nanjo had been reading a book in the lobby, but when he noticed the relatives looking like they wanted to discuss something sinister, he said, "It seems I'm in the way," and returned to his room for the second floor, while the formatting got weird there.
Yeah, it does that when you look at the log for some reason.
I'm starving. If we just keep sitting around, we'll get sleepy too.
It's only natural. We didn't get any sleep at all last night.
We will probably end up being barricaded here for a full 24 hours. It may be wiser to take naps in turn instead of overstressing ourselves.
Nissan, what about your emergency cocaine?
True.
I could really go for a teener right now.
My husband and I will remain here, so I ask that anyone having trouble staying awake, take it easy and rest.
We can raid Battler's Adderall.
It's Maria's Adderall.
Oh, true, true.
Nah, bro, she definitely got autism. There's no cure for that shit.
I think she also has ADHD.
Yeah, that could be a twofer, bro.
Our opponent might be expecting that, right? Even if they couldn't defeat this many people, if that number shrinks enough, they may plan to use that moment to strike. There are 7 of us here, so we could take 3-hour shifts in pairs. Tomorrow morning's a long way off. We still have some energy now, but tonight's going to be tough.
Sure will. Anyone sleepy? Don't overdo it and get some rest.
That was the narrator.
Yep.
My brain. Here she looked around at everyone to see who wanted to sleep first, but no one volunteered. Everyone was just as tired, but no one was bold enough to go sleep right away. The fear of the unknown culprit was just as strong as their sleepiness.
No, buddy? Well, don't overdo it, everyone.
If we get tired, we'll deal with it then. I'll admit I'm sleepy, but I'm not in the mood now.
As Ava spoke sharply, she reread the second letter from Beatrice, which had been found in the boiler room. Beatrice had sent the 2 letters, which had repeatedly told them to solve the riddle of the epitaph. She'd even provoked them by saying she'd give up her assets and the headship if they could solve it. Ava took out a notebook and opened it to a page with the epitaph copied into it.
Is that the epitaph?
Yes. I hate doing what the culprit says, but we do have some time to waste. I think it's the perfect way to starve off boredom.
Not a bad way to kill time. Why don't we challenge it together as siblings?
Can I borrow that? I'll rewrite it just a little larger. Natsuhi-san, do you have a slightly larger piece of paper? There should be paper in the servant room. I will bring some.
Natsuhi immediately brought a blank B4 sheet of paper from the servant room. Kyrie borrowed Ava's notebook and wrote out the epitaph on the paper and laid it out on the table. Then everyone quickly peered down at it. They automatically formed a crowd.
I've heard about it, but really, this is a tough riddle. I don't have a clue what it's talking about.
At one point, I also did my best to solve it, but I was just as clueless.
If you did know, you wouldn't have come all the way out here with the plan to make money. After all, it's 10 tons of gold we're talking about.
This is the first time I've read through it seriously, but roughly speaking, couldn't it be split into 3 parts?
I've been thinking about this since last night, but you really are a good thinker, Kyrie-san. Perhaps you'll be able to solve this riddle that we couldn't.
Excuse me, I was trying to...
You're good.
People were messaging me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a popular guy.
Wow.
Apparently, out of nowhere. Yeah, Kyrie is sharp. She might find a more interesting take on it if she comes in without any confusing biases.
That's right. Kyrie-san, would you mind giving us your honest opinion after reading the epitaph? I doubt you'll find it useful. You all give me too much credit.
That's fine. Just say whatever comes into your head. Let's hear your thoughts. The hints you give always help me out when I'm worried.
Oh, so I have been helpful. It's nice to finally hear about this now.
Come on, don't I always thank you?
You two sure are close. I'm jealous. Shut up, Rosa.
Single.
Yeah, you can't keep a man because you're fucking horrible anyway.
It's nice to see that Rudolph and Kyrie's relationship is a lot nicer than we were initially led to believe.
Yeah, they're honestly really wholesome together.
Because I feel like they intentionally mislead you and they tell you that he divorced and then remarried, and they kind of make you assume that he's like a shitty guy who left his wife for like a younger bitch or something. But they actually just are compatible, so assumedly he just didn't get along with Battler's mom as well as her. Also, by the way, it's funny that Rose is such a piece of shit, but like, dude, the majority of the fan base wants to do her so bad.
Yeah, they do, and it's fucked.
Why?
But
Why? I don't understand.
It's because she's hot, and they want her to step on them.
No, she's not.
And abuse them.
Not even, bro. So, I can't say too much, but
that hairstyle only works on twinkish men with swords.
Shut out. Listen. All I can say is that some people desire correction.
That or the abuse. Like, I wish Rosa would hit me.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up, please.
It's that one copy pasta, bro. Sometimes
Yeah.
I imagine Rosa Ushiramiya coming home in a drunk stupor and beating me senseless.
So fucked.
That's just funny, though.
It is funny. It is.
That's really funny.
Okay. And the rest of us would also love to hear these hints of yours. We're just killing time anyway, so relax, okay?
Kyrie was disturbed at being praised so highly for something so strange. But they had all the time in the world. Realizing that it was just a way to waste time, she decided to accept the role she'd been given.
I'm sure I'll say something off the mark, but, well, I'll put forward my ideas.
Indeed. What did you mean in the beginning about how it could be divided into 3 parts, roughly speaking?
Well, I just mean what I said. I think
that doesn't fucking help, does it?
I think that overall, the epitaph can be divided into 3 sections.
First, there are the 5 lines up until there sleeps the key to the gold. Up until this point is the final part, which directs you to the location of the key. And then there's a part formed by the 11 lines up until the 10th twilight, which refer to the location of the Golden Land itself. And the remaining 6 lines make up the part after the Golden Land has been reached. Wow! Thanks, game. I see. It can be divided into 3 parts about the key, the Golden Land, and the Golden Land's treasure. Blah, blah, blah.
Even we have to be able to grasp that much. The 3 sections that refer to the key, the door, and the treasure.
Nissan, don't button any more than you have to. Let Kirei-san speak her ideas freely.
Loser baby says what?
Kyrie, please continue. We see it the same way as you do so far. So then, you stop mansplaining. Goddamn.
I wonder about...
It's the 80s, man.
I wonder about the meaning of that thing in the beginning. The beloved hometown. Normally that would refer to where grandfather lived, right? Since father went to all the trouble of telling us that it's beloved, we can imagine that it's a hometown he had strong feelings for. Did father come from Odawara? Odawara is definitely where he was born, but I don't think that's the hometown he loved. I imagine all of us siblings have the same place in mind. Right. This probably isn't Odawara. From what I've heard, he had a very fun time as a youth.
Sorry, I can't do a fake laugh. It always starts with me. Being made of the Ishiramiya family head was probably Dad's greatest bit of misfortune in life.
Probably. Father didn't actually want to become the head.
So where is this place? Is there a river where there are is there a river there where sweet fish swim? The sweet fish swim got me. What the fuck? Maybe there was at the time. There has been a lot of development there since then, and the sweet fish might have disappeared. It would be extremely difficult to investigate whether sweet fish were there during grandfather's boyhood years.
And there probably isn't just a single river. I believe we all gave this a thorough investigation geographically. You even went to the actual place to investigate directly, right, Ava?
And that was only a vacation. But the townscape had changed completely since father's time. After all, it was caught up in that war, wasn't it? By now, even precisely locating the place father lived is impossible. I imagine that father went there himself. I wonder that if father went there himself now, even he wouldn't be able to pick out the place he'd live anymore.
Well, after all, those guys have also gone through a remarkable recovery.
Does the part about a sweetfish river bring any place name clearly to mind?
Well, yeah, after all, they're sweetfish, right? People say they live in rivers with clean water, so there are countless rivers that might work. Any stream Dad innocently went sweetfish fishing in was probably buried by the development later. It'd be different if we had a map from before the war, or a person who knew a lot about the area before the war, but...
Hi, Adam! Yeah.
Probably isn't something like that, if I have to say. Oh wait, that was Kyrie.
Oh, my bad. Probably isn't something like that.
What do you mean?
Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the Golden Land follow its path downstream in search of the key. After these 2 lines, there's a single blank line. Something is being presented with just these 2 lines. What if the next 3 lines continue based upon that something?
What do you mean? Something's being presented?
I don't know. At any rate, what we can get from those 2 lines alone isn't something vague, like the question of which river it might be, but the clear presentation of the key word river. It may be that this isn't a river with water flowing down it. The Sweetfish River might be some kind of metaphor. What sort of impressions does the word sweetfish give?
Sweetfish are like salmon. They're freshwater fish, but they go out into the ocean right after they're born. When they get big, they go back to the river to live there. And then they spawn there and end their lives there. Well, they leave their home at one point, but when they get big, they come back and lay eggs. Might be able to link that idea to the clan of...
What? To the idea of clan prosperity? What does that mean?
That was a weird comment. Oh?
Oh, wait, no, I get it. Because you go... It's like what Kinzo did, right? Like, you're born in one place, you go somewhere else to, like, grow and make a name for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you bring it back to receive the fruits of your labor that you had left there.
Oh, yeah, it's like the honorable thing of, like, when you're done and retired, you return home. And
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, they're freshwater fish, but they can live in the ocean.
Hello?
Sorry.
The clicker.
At least once.
Sorry.
At least once. It makes me feel better.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I figured river fish wouldn't be able to live in the sea.
And they are called sweetfish because they have a pleasant aroma. I have never eaten one, but I have heard they can be quite delicious when grilled with salt.
What's that, Natsuhi-san? You've never eaten salt-grilled sweetfish? They're delicious. You should try it sometime soon. It is a food for commoners. Hardly appropriate for your mouth.
Shut the hell up, dude.
This is just my wild idea, but the impression I get from a sweetfish river makes me suspect a family tree. The sweetfish go out into the ocean for a time, but they return to the river, where they are born to spawn, right? It reminds me of myself. You're right. By this point, I can confess that I've sometimes suspected that it refers to you and Maria-chan.
I just had an epiphany, but I can talk about it later.
A poofany?
I see. If you follow the river downstream, you will find a village.
Oh, yeah.
You go down the family tree, all you find is Maria's name. Only her name as a Ma read... Oh, no, that's the Re,
Nope.
isn't it? Yeah, and that read as Re, the character father uses for village here.
Isn't that right? But as you all know, Father doesn't like Maria, and he almost never speaks with her. And in the past, Father told me to give Maria a completely different name. I just decided to go with Maria on my own. Father was very mad about that. Given that, it's very hard to imagine that he would reference Maria's name in his precious epitaph about who would succeed his wealth and inheritance.
Wait a minute. So she came up with her name on her own? Does that mean she never even, like, got married? Like, her... Does that mean she kind of just got knocked up and then dumped?
Yep.
Damn.
Damn.
That's actually more brutal than I thought. I thought it was, like, a bad marriage, but she, like, bitch never knew the father of her kid.
I mean, she knew the dad, but I don't think
Yeah,
it
but,
worked
like,
out.
not like that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like as a partner.
Oh, no,
like
we still hate Rosa, yeah.
Like, their relationship was, probably pretty brief, whoever her dad was.
Damn. I didn't
Have
realize Maria was Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Have you ever let Maria-chan read the epitaph? Yes, of course. But it looked as though she didn't have a clue. She didn't have a clue, and she kept going on about the same occult stuff about how it was a resurrection ceremony for the witch.
A connection between father and Maria. Certainly they do share that occult hobby, but they never interacted. I can't imagine that it refers to Maria either.
What sticks out to me is how he went out of his way to add beloved to that first line. Like you all said just now, if Father was reluctant about becoming the Ushiromiya family head, would he have fond memories for anything connected to that? I don't think this can be Odawara, which represents the Ushiromiya head family. I believe this word beloved here at the beginning must refer to a place of very important memories to Father.
Well, that's fine. It would be hard to pinpoint since we don't even have a trace of a map from that time. But at any rate, there were probably several rivers with sweetfish swimming in them near Dad's hometown during his youth.
That's if we're looking for a river with water flowing down it, right? And then, go on, Kyrie-san. I don't really understand the 3 lines starting with, if you follow the river downstream, you will find a village. It's probably linked to the 2 lines about the Sweetfish River. I imagine it's something we'd understand automatically if we knew what the Sweetfish River really was. Until we figure that out, it's probably useless to try and solve these 3 lines any further.
So we're stuck unless we know what the Sweetfish River really is. There's no guarantee it even means a literal river. Seriously, what's up with the sweetfish? Do they like to eat them? Does that have some special meaning? Pointless to read too deeply into it.
If you don't have both a micro and a macro perspective, your field of vision grows narrow. It might be better to be flexible and avoid thinking too deeply, focusing on an abstract image of a river where fish swim, or something that can flow, up or down. Then the answer behind the Sweetfish River passes through the next 3 lines and makes its way to the key to the Golden Land. If you think about it this way, I wonder if it was a mistake to split it into 3 parts. There's actually 4 parts. Go down the Sweetfish River, find the key to the Golden Land, journey to the Golden Land, and treasure of the Golden Land.
Truly intriguing. Well, you've gone this far. Would you mind continuing and telling us your opinion on the most central portion of the epitaph? Up to the point when we reach the Golden Land on the 10th twilight.
That's the most symbolic, and also the most disturbing part. Since the word sacrifices keeps coming up, I can't help but think it has something to do with father's occult ceremonies. How do you see it, Kyrie-san?
Kyrie recrossed her arms several times, peering into the paper with the epitaph copied onto it, as though she was looking through it.
This is very difficult. It starts with the one who obtains the key, so you probably won't be able to continue without knowing what that key means. I'll have to give up on that, but I'll take a shot at trying to solve it anyway. Just like how the Sweetfish River isn't necessarily a river with water flowing down it, it's also doubtful that this key is actually something shaped like a key. Right. It might also be a code or a keyword. After all, this key isn't something to be stuck into a keyhole. It's something that selects 6 people to be sacrifices for the first twilight. In that sense, we can say for sure that this key isn't being used to open the door to the Golden Land. But what a disturbing key it is. A key that can choose 6 human sacrifices.
How would a key select anything? Do you spin it like a roulette?
This key indicates a certain group of 6 people. No, we should say that it indicates a certain group of 6 things. If this doesn't mean a literal command to offer sacrifices. For example, it could be an anagram.
An anagram? Do you mean playing with letters?
Yes, I've been thinking about it ever since Rose has started talking about the family tree, and about how village was a part of Maria-chan's name. It seems that ever since the words beloved hometown came up, Rudolph-san, for example, has assumed that this epitaph points to some coordinates, or some other geographical feature, but that might not be the case. This could be some sort of puzzle, or maybe playing with letters. Forgive me, but how does one play with letters?
Oh, well, it's like Sucker Mary Bells. What do you get when you take out the E's and R's?
That's funny
Like that.
as fuck.
Well, you were raised well, Natsu-san, so you probably don't know.
That's so funny, bro. I feel like you would have
Mary.
expected Battler's dad to be like the very like gauche and like proper one, but
Oh,
Nah,
fuck
he
no.
walks
He's
in here
actually-
like, spell I cup.
no, like he's actually second youngest. So like he's kind of a shithead just like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary, take out the E's and the R's, huh?
Spell I cup, bro.
Stop it. It is an undignified game, inappropriate for you. Literally hit her with the based on what?
Only Natsuki didn't get it and had a blank look on her face. It seemed she'd only guessed that the answer had to be something undignified. Going by Rudolph and Ava's sniggers.
Natsuki-san, it's something like this. This is just something from Maria's Book of Riddles, okay? There's this thing called a Tanuki notebook. It's a notebook written like a code with a lot of tas mixed in. And if you remove all of the tas, then the true paragraph pops up. It's a game like that. Oh, I see.
Natsuhi finally realized the answer to the undignified riddle Rudolph had possessed, and her face grew red as she hung her head in embarrassment.
So maybe kill actually means remove in that sense, right? Yes, I also thought that. It's possible that the key to the Golden Land is a word with 6 characters.
In other words, the ta from the Tanuki notebook is actually 6 characters here? This is getting complicated.
Playing with letters, is it? In Japan, it really feels like a child's game, but it's apparently a stylish form of humor among intellectuals in the English world. It is easy to imagine that Father was interested in it.
But by this point, I quickly lose my ability to understand it. Up until this part, it may have been filled with mysteries, but it was extremely sequential. Sweet Fish River, go down it, then find the key. All of that is extremely sequential, and as a result, we can guess that we gain a 6-character key. But in that case, we now don't know what we kill the 6 characters from.
That's right. Where do we pull the 6 characters from? It doesn't tell us.
On the second Twilight, there are those who remain, which means that, at the very least, that something has a limited number of characters. You could read it like it's telling you to continue with the remaining characters after the first 6 characters are removed. And yet, we don't know what this something is, even though it should have been shown to us at the beginning. Are we wrong even in our assumption that this is playing with letters?
Everyone crossed their arms and fell silent. It felt like they were about to reach a novel understanding they hadn't managed before, but they just stumbled one step short.
Oh,
Then Hideyoshi's stomach rumbled hardly. The silence was broken by laughter.
he's
Wow,
hungry.
This is the happiest I've ever seen these characters.
Yeah.
And it's after all the servants
Yeah.
are dead.
Yeah, they have no one to suspect.
They
Yeah.
do not care.
Nope.
So hard.
Sorry. Strangely enough, by spinning the gears in my head for a change, my stomach's gone completely empty. Looks like I can't stand missing breakfast.
Natsuhime, isn't there anything to eat here?
There should be at least enough set aside for breakfast. I will prepare it.
I'm also starving. I'll bet those brats above us are the same. Still, I doubt there's enough for 18 people here. Much less a full 3 meals, right?
That's right. It'll be a long journey till tomorrow. Maybe we'd better take a trip back to the mansion and fish around for some canned food or something in the kitchen.
There's nothing more than crackers and snacks here, but if that will be sufficient, I can get them ready for you all. But with this many people, there might not be any left for lunch.
No, the crackers. That will do for now. Would you mind getting those ready?
Snacks!
Okay. I think
Uh-huh,
we must end because I'm just like Hideyoshi right now. I'm hella hungry.
They're all dead. They're all dead.
Goodbye.
They're all dead.
bean burrito.
Oh, too bad this time.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
game over right from the start. Oh, sad
Yeah.
face.
The roulette did not choose him, bro.
It did not. Okay, everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we'll see you all next week, bouquet.
Buenos noches, mijito.
Yeah. Okay, goodbye, everybody. See you later. Goodbye.